Hey everybody! Hey everybody! Hopefully y'all can hear me and see me and hear me and see me and see me and hear me. Say yes. Yes. Hey Meredith. Hey Jennifer. Can y'all hear me fine? Yes. I have not been live in, oh my gosh. It's been weeks. Hey Patrick. Okay, let me see. Let me let Patrick in. Hold on. This will be my first time doing this. I'm excited. I'm so excited. Hold on. Let me see how I let Patrick in. He's in the background. Hold on, y'all. Y'all, if the sound start doing weird stuff, I'm sorry. Y'all know. Let me see. Okay. Let me do this and enter.
Are we together? We're together right now. Can you hear me good on your side? Is everything good? Audio sounds good? Okay, cool. I'm going to shut this door so it's out of our way. There we go. Now I can talk to you and I can see your face. Hi.
Can y'all hear me? If y'all can hear me, I'm gonna be so excited. I'm gonna feel like so accomplished. Oh my gosh. I need a crown. I need some kind of crown.
I
Oh
love
my,
it.
this is the first time. This is the first time, Patrick, that I've ever had sound at the beginning.
That's fine.
So
Here's
good.
what I'll do then. I'll just cut my audio off, so at least we still have some sound issues, but we'll blame it on me this time. Does that work?
No, Patrick, keep it on, please. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. I did it, Evelyn.
I love it. I love it.
If I knew how to dance, I'd be cutting the rug right now, but I don't.
There you go.
We just leave that out. This is so good. This is so good. Oh my gosh. Okay. Patrick, they already have a whole bunch of questions for you.
Hey, that's why I'm here. I'm here to answer all of the questions, plus some.
Y'all, you know, you did not miss anything, Willie Jackson. You missed, no, Willie, you did. You missed me starting with sound. Okay, that's what you missed. So there's that. Oh, you just don't know how excited I am. I normally start every live with the goal, Patrick. And I normally start like with the goal, but today I was like, it's on him.
Listen, I'm good with it. Look I even brought to you, not only, I'm going to show you these, okay? I brought special stuff with me to this one. Not only can you see me, but if you have any questions about the user interface, we can hop right into it. And if you have questions about it in software, let's hop in software. And if you're still missing me while you're in software, I'm still here. Hi.
Oh, that's so good. Hey.
Yeah. So I brought out all the bags of tricks today just so we could do this live. And I will tell you, I have not done this multi-streaming platform yet with anyone else on this being able to switch between the cutters. So this is an exclusive to your team here and the people that are obviously watching around. So hi everyone.
Look at that. I'm so excited. I can't even, I'm trying to keep my composure.
No. We don't keep composures around here. You're allowed to do freak out if you want to freak out.
So Brianna says she has her notebook ready. Mary had a whole bunch of questions for you, and so did Risa. They had good, very, 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 very good questions.
Okay.
A lot of the people here are from my Facebook group. Yes, y'all remember to hit the like button. Some of them don't have cutters yet.
Okay.
Because they are waiting for you to be back on HSN so they can.
Hey, and listen, here's the thing that I'm going to tell everybody before we even get started. It does not matter. Obviously, we love our cutters, but it does not matter what cutter you have. I will make the lingo qualified for everyone. So when we talk about HTV, I'm also going to mention it as iron-on. As we talk about PSV, I'm also going to call it sticker vinyl. So just so you guys know who's watching around, I try to make sure that I tailor all of my verbiage to everything. So if you're a Cricut user, Silhouette user, Brother Scan and Cut, or you have the Romeo or Juliet, don't worry about it. I got you, and I'm gonna use terminology that we all understand so that everybody's on the same page for this one.
Okay, good. Okay, so one of the questions that I know I saw earlier was, let me get to it, because I mean there was some really, really, really good questions. Well, this one is not really about a cutter, but here is a question.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Hold on one second here. I'm looking. I got my software up and this. All right, Patrick, what is the most challenging aspect of your role and what? Oh, man, this is actually, you're already coming out with fire questions right off. I will honestly say most challenging aspect of my role is also what I enjoy the most, and that's the education side. So for me, it's obviously, as you guys know, as people that are learning in different groups and from different people, sometimes the messaging from one person to the next can be a little skewed, especially when we're talking about a product like the Juliet or the Romeo that Siser created specifically. You know, for me, education has always been a challenging thing because I like to educate people the way that I like to be taught, which is very slow, methodical, make sure that you understand every single piece of the puzzle before we jump in. So that can be very cumbersome because it's a lot of extra time. And Delonda knows too, you spend all the time doing tutorial style content, sometimes just sitting around thinking of like, okay, what are people really looking for? What do they really need? What is a way I can deliver it that it makes sense is where I spend most of my painstaking hours. Yeah. The rest, the cameras and the lights and all that stuff, I have a really, really beautiful team of videographers that help me look good on camera and at trade shows and all of that kind of stuff. So that's always been a really easy, but I will say I love this. I love this part. And Delonda knows I have been known, I will spend an hour and a half up to 5 hours with you on the phone. Yes. And just talk through a process because that's the part that I love the most. I'll say second to that as well is being able to be in an environment where I get to meet a lot of people. So I'm a people person for sure. So being able to be in front of people, and I will say, some will say I like being the center of attention, but that's whatever. And I bet you any money, my wife Amanda's probably somewhere in the comments. She can verify that for us. But also I love that aspect of it. And I love being able to come together as a community to solve a problem or fix something. And that was like one of the big asks for this development of this cutter and for our software was, what is all the things broken? How can we fix it? And then how can we reteach people the appropriate way to do things? It doesn't mean it's 100% the right way, but it's the appropriate way to go about certain projects and designing and what to look out for when you're picking materials and all of that kind of stuff. So that's a great question.
That's a great.
Sorry, long-winded.
No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. Okay, so we got this one. What is the biggest difference between the Juliet and the Romeo? They both seem so much alike. Great observation. Do they both have the same qualities? Yes. So that's the nice thing. Whether it's the Romeo or it's the Juliet high definition cutter, you have all of the same attributes within, go to camera number 2, within the user interface. And those are things like your test cut that's on every single page, your home button that's on there, your play button, your navigation tools. It is the first of its kind to have a true, fully functioning LCD screen. So even things like, and I'm trying to do this kind of backwards, so sorry guys, as I'm navigating in mirrored form. So we also have a full library of materials. And let me just focus in this camera a little bit more so that you guys can really see what I'm seeing here, because this is all important stuff. So with the Romeo and the Juliet, the user interface operates the same. We have a full menu of not only heat transfer vinyl cut settings, we also have PSV, which is your sticker vinyl, and then we also have this other tab. And one of the cool parts about this, whether Romeo or Juliet, is you have all of these little open spaces everywhere. So we can click on one of those open spaces, and maybe we are a 651 user, right? I use 651 sometimes in my projects. Don't tell my boss, but that's true. But what I can do is I can go ahead and I can change this to 651, save that, now go back into that cut setting itself and adjust my speed and my force right from the cutters to now have a custom material built into the user interface. Now, one of the other really awesome aspects is being able to navigate your settings menu very, very easily. So we put all your basic settings that were on the front page. So things like your Wi-Fi, Both cutters are Wi-Fi enabled as well as hardwire. We didn't do Bluetooth because in high production environments, those can be a little finicky. We have an actual actual true high def camera inside the cutter. This is beautiful for print and cut, which is actually one of the projects I'm going to do here in a minute using print and cut. And then we have really, really awesome things like being able to adjust your LED lights. So you'll see right here on the cutter is the light strip. I can turn that off if I want, or I can turn it on depending on what environment you're in for print and cut. So a lot of us know for our lamination sticker makers, we know that being able to adjust how bright or how dim a light is could mean the difference in a proper registration or maybe a misregistration. Things like alerts. These are things that we thought about really, really early on. And when I say we, I say myself and the other development folks on the team, is doing things like LED alert. Okay, so the LED and the chime alert, a lot of people I think got this confused on what they were. Originally, they were for chime, much like you hear here, in case you walk away from your job, walk away from your cutting. And then also LED light effect, which you'll see light up, letting you know that, I should have did flash warning, LED light effect that also lets you know when a job is complete. Now, one of the big benefits of having something like being able to adjust your alerts are for not only people that like me, that I like to walk away from my cutter and then it lets me know when it's done, but think about people that are adaptive hearing that need to have that light effect so that you know when it's going on. Maybe we can't hear, right? Or maybe we're working in an environment where we have kids and I'm telling you, no matter what age we get, everybody in this group or in this live knows that microwave sound, that will ring in your ear for all of eternity. So knowing that that's kind of built in already for you allows you now to be able to walk away. So we wanted to not only develop something for the folks that are using cutters every day, but also trying to start adapting them to our world, because our world is different and everybody's different, the way they create, the way they do things. The big difference between the Romeo and the Juliet is the size. So the Juliet stands at 12 inches. It's a 12-inch high definition cutter. However, that's what we put on paper. It actually can cut 13.5 inches across from edge to edge. And the big reason for that is the actual head of the machine, and I'll show you really fast. Let me get on the main page. One of the big reasons why you gain an extra 1.5 inches of space is that the actual head of the machine moves into the machine itself, which allows you a little extra space. Typically for your guys' craft cutters that you're used to using, your motor head is usually exposed completely, right? Well, you have all this space where there's a camera, and that's all dead space that's not being cut or not being utilized, right? So by bringing the head into the machine, it's allowed us to open up the space. Now the Romeo is double the size at 24 inches. However, it does cut 25.5 inches from edge to edge. So for all of my smart material people, I know the Venture just came out, you can cut smart material on the Romeo and accomplish your projects as well. So if you're thinking about cutter to cutter or thinking about what materials you use and all that stuff, I appreciate it. Just know that there's options out there for you other than what you're using regularly, on a regular basis. So great question.
I just bought a Cricut Venture mat and I tried it and it worked in here perfectly.
Oh, that's perfect. That works. Actually, I think I just saw you just posted about it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I'm looking off because I have like my computer here, and then I'm trying to look here to address people too. Yeah, no, it's and that's another thing too. If you're a silhouette user and you got a 24 by 24 mat or you got a 12 by 24 inch mat, don't throw them away. Don't go and think you got to buy a Romeo and a Juliet and toss out everything that you have. If you have Siser sublimation markers, or you have artist-free sublimation markers, those also work in the Romeo and Juliet too. So because there is actually a marker adapter that comes in the box that you get standard with every cutter. So for those kind of things, I told you this on the phone too, when we talked back when I was in California, is that's not the best part though.
Patrick, you keep blowing my mind.
Yeah, if you have a big style pen, okay, I just posted out on our YouTube at Siser North America on YouTube. Just posted a calibration video, and in that calibration video, I actually show you how to use a big pen in the marker adapter. So if you have big pens around, granted, we're not into all of the Crayolas yet and the crayons. We have more tools coming down the road, but we kind of got you started with the entry level stuff so that we can start introducing all the tools. Remember, we're only a year old as of September 16th. So for us, we're really proud of where we've come so far. But yeah.
Okay. They have, everybody just coming in. But
yeah.
oh my gosh. What
For
I
sure.
love, I have like, I thought about doing like my favorite things video about the Romeo, but it's so many things. I love the fact that you're not limited.
Yeah,
you're not limited to Siser materials.
It's funny. It's funny that you mentioned that too, because Crafty Brick, she actually texted me and she's like, "Hey, I'm letting you know in advance. I'm sorry I couldn't put all the stuff I like in my 1 year update review because it would be too long of a video." And then there's also some really good things that she had pointed out to us that help us to fix. And that was speaking of the Romeo and the Juliet and Leonardo Design Studio, one of the things we're really, really proud of is the fact that you guys have helped us to build this. So when you tell us you want something, we're able to put it in directly into the system, into the software immediately. And it's a quick turnaround time. I mean, if it's a big project, you know, like everybody is saying the R word, right? Rhinestones. For templates and cool tools like that, those might take a little bit more time. But when there's little clerical errors or there's little fixes, or you're like, hey, you know, I want to make sure that I can register each layer of my project properly, that's when we add things like layer marks that make it easy for you to layer things once you're done cutting and you have those multicolors. So for surezies. What do we got? Crafty Puerto Rican said, do I have to figure out the speed and pressure every time I'm using a new material, or is it preset? Great question. And I'll go actually really quick back to this user interface that we have on the Romeo and the Juliet. You do not. We have all of our materials preloaded from HTV or your iron-ons to your PSV or your sticker vinyl. And then there's this other tab. And here's the cool part, is you only really have to, for a new material, figure out your cut settings and your force once. Because just like we did with the 651, you know, the Oracle, all I did is I changed the name of a cut setting, and then I can change the speed, I can change the force, and I can test cut from this page. So if I'm getting bad test cuts, then I'm confident and know that I can go right back to the speed and force, make my adjustments, test cut again, get a good test cut, and then now we're off to the races. The cool part is, too, secret time, exclusive for this live.
Exclusivity.
Exclusive. Yeah, we got to have like a little flash on screen. Exclusive. Anyway, say I don't use Easy Weed, okay? First of all, shame on you. I'm kidding. But if I don't use an Easy Weed, and let's say I use iron-on, okay? You have the ability to select any cut setting that's already preloaded, okay? Make sure it's highlighted. You can hit rename, and I can rename any of the preset cut settings. It doesn't mean those open spaces aren't the only thing that you have the ability to change the actual name of or the speed and force. You have the ability to change any of them. So maybe you're like, for me, I don't do a lot with blackboard or chalkboard material as much anymore because other than putting up a wall in the house for the kids to just color like crazy on, I personally don't have a use for it yet that I use every day. So I may take the blackboard setting and I may change that to another material, like a newer material that we launched, like Easy Glow, which is a brand new one we launched, or Easy PSV Glitter by Avery Dennison, which is a brand new product that we launched recently. I may just decide to put those in instead of what I commonly don't use on a regular basis. So the cool part is this thing is fully customizable to your workspace. And that's really the big benefit that we have, I think, with Leonardo and the Romeo and Juliet, for sure.
Okay.
Yep.
Good stuff. Here, there's another question.
Hey, you keep them on coming. That's awesome. Okay. I appreciate it. What are the types of material other than vinyl that a Romeo excels at? By the way, Siser is the best vinyl. First of all, thank you. Siser is, in my opinion, is one of the best vinyls, but that's for different reasons because I know how it's made and how others are made. But I won't get into that yet. Yeah, look at this. This is actually, I'll give you guys another exclusive. This is a material that's not even launched yet. Just throwing it out.
That was one of the questions.
And I'm not going to say that it's super stretchable, but it's super stretchable. I'm also not going to tell you that it's a vegan free product or for a vegan product. I'm not going to tell you that it's an eco-friendly product. I'm not going to tell you that it might be environmentally safe on all aspects. And I'm not going to tell you that next year Siser may be going to a completely renewable energy type process for all of our materials. So, but I'll give you the exclusive now. This is my one thing, and I'll just say it's a stretch material that also has an eco background. So eco stretch will be a new material coming soon for you guys publicly. So,
well, good thing you didn't tell us.
For sure. So with that said, I really want to address, other than your typical vinyls and your pressure sensitive vinyls, all of your materials you cut, Romeo does an excellent job, obviously, at drawing, just because of the fact that you can use the marker adapter and you can have some really great sublimation. So regular paper, if we're talking about materials, we've cut, I'm trying to think of all the stuff that we had. We had a whole list that we were working on at one point in time. I've cut leather or leatherette on it for sure, easy in a couple passes. Leather is usually works really well with a 45-degree blade. Let's see, I've cut fabric material with this. I've cut, it's like Stephanie on our team. So Stephanie says is her handle and everything. She actually does all embroidery. So she uses, a lot of times she'll cut fabric with a Romeo or Juliet to help her put work on some of her embroidery projects. I mean, it cuts foam core board well, it cuts craft foam really well, it cuts, oh, I don't know. I mean, there's a massive list, and actually that's one thing that going into next year, what we're planning on doing is making sure we're releasing everything. Now that we're a year in, it's a lot easier for us to say, okay, hey, this item's not going to change, or this item's not going to change, or maybe a term of something or the way we address something won't change. So now we're going to be able to pump out all of that content for you guys, so you're up to date and you have that. But make sure, you know, sticking around on this YouTube channel, because this is where you also learn from one of the best. So.
And Patrice shared the Siser YouTube channel. She shared it in the link. I
appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate you, Patrice.
So Jay wanted to know if there were presets somewhere in case they got deleted.
Of course we got presets. So you can visit siserna.com. And then under every single one of our materials, actually what I could probably do really quick is I'll just show you, because I like you guys so much. I have all of this stuff queued up. So hold on one second. Let me just make sure my computer's running at a normal speed. So this is the Siser NA website. If you go to any of the materials under the materials section, all of our materials are listed. And if you select any of them, so we'll go with Easy Puff, which is a newer product that we have launched. Right down towards the middle is always going to be your CPSIA certification, or whether it's laser friendly, and whether it's all of your basic like Okotex and stuff like that. For most of you guys, if you don't know what that is, that's just all the chemical certifications and material certifications. It'll also tell you exactly what the material applies to, but more importantly, here's all of your cut settings for Romeo and Juliet. And then also one of the big benefits to you guys is you can select there's a little button on there that says click for more. And here's your Juliet, your Cricut Explorer Air, your Cricut Maker, your Silhouette, your Brother Scan and Cut, your Roland, and your Graph Tech. So not only are we giving you all the cut settings for our materials on our cutters, but we're also letting you know in case you have other materials that you're using or other cutters that you're using. And that's what's the most important for us.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Look at Patrice coming in with the hotness. Hold on. Can the Juliet and Romeo handle magnet sheets, maybe with the 60-degree blade? I want to try that next. Yes, it can. Here's what I'm going to tell you though. Run more than one pass. Now, if the magnet is too strong, the bottom platen of the Romeo and some of the elements in the grip wheels and stuff are metal, and they will stick to magnet. However, just as a FYI, you can run magnet sheets. I've actually did a print and cut on a live 3 months ago, something like that. So you'd have to search back on our main page at Siser North America on Facebook to find it. But I actually made little donut magnets with regular copy paper, and then we cut the magnet material on the cutter, and then I just melded the two together because it had like an adhesive back to it. But great question, yeah. And if you get any mixed results, let me know. Sorry.
Wow.
Yep. Oh, sorry. I'm like not even framed up to the right thing. I'm like showing you the StreamYard. In case everybody wants to see their own comments, there you go, I guess. I was just sitting on that screen for a minute. Sorry.
Hi, everybody that's just joining. Hey,
Hey.
Eve and Monique and Meredith and the Educated Natural and everybody that I didn't say hi to. Thank y'all for being here. Hi, Miss Victoria and Wanda. Can we do a quick giveaway, Patrick?
You want to do a giveaway? Let's do a giveaway.
Do one right now.
Let's do a giveaway. Okay. Do you want me to do a giveaway? You want me to set it up?
I have it ready.
Oh, do you have it ready? Knock it out.
Unless you have it ready, you can do it.
Well, I have one, maybe or maybe not. Wait, do you have one already ready to go?
I mean, I have the tool ready. I don't have anything to give.
Okay.
Look,
right, so do we want to do material giveaway?
Yes.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. All right. And I think I told you, I want to say I told you 5 sheets or something like that for a giveaway pack.
Yeah.
We're going to up the ante. We're going to double it. We're going to go 10 sheets, all hand selected. Okay. By the one, the only, Crafting with Delonda. She's going to actually select a whole 10 sheets. Hey, I need you back up here. I need help.
Patrick. I have to sit down.
That's not the best part. We're going to do 10 sheets of all of your favorites. Okay. So you can select either 10 colors of one line. You can select a couple of colors from each line. You can just go through the whole library and find out 10 sheets and 10 colors that you want of material. And then I'll throw in a weeder, squeegee, or we'll do a weeder tweezer kit. So we have a weeder and a tweezer together. We'll throw in a squeegee and we'll throw in a decorate, because in the back of the decorate magazine also has time, temperature, and pressure settings for everything. And I think it's a great page to just rip out of there and slap right on the wall next to your heat press, because then you never forget any of the time, temperature, or pressure settings of any of your Siser material. So
I can tell this. This is like bacon. I love bacon.
Well, and then also you get t-shirt confetti. So I'm sorry in advance for anybody, but hold on one second.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see. All right, so I got this. Usually what we stack in every single one of our giveaways, we have this little bit of t-shirt confetti that we throw in the box. And just so you know, these are all actual cuts of material. So when we make our decorate magazines, we have these little tiny bits that are cut out, and then they press them to the book. Well, whatever doesn't stick, we usually get in office. And if you think that this is a lot, I have like a 200-pound box upstairs that has these. So we usually load these up too, just for funsies. So I'm sorry in advance, we're gonna make your house messy.
OMG.
Yeah. Should we take him through a quick project really quick?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, and then what I want you to do while I'm going through this project really quick, just find somebody in there that we can randomly give it away to.
Oh,
if you want to do it that way?
I was going to do the StreamYard one.
Oh, do that. Yeah, that's fine. Do you want me to get into a project really fast first?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So here's what I'm going to actually do, and I have a fun project that's already kind of set up for me. Mm-hmm. Right now, I have a friend of mine and my wife. My wife is part of the PTC at school, and one of the PTC moms, who's also a friend of ours, asked, hey, I got this birthday thing coming up. Can you make a couple of these little shirts? And I thought it was a...
Can't hear you, Patrick. Your sound is gone.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. All right, cool. Sorry, my camera, one of my cameras shut off, so it shut my sound off. Okay, so this is one of the PTC moms that my wife is on the PTC with at school. She's a friend of ours. Her kids and our kids are all friends. Well, one of her kids is actually having a birthday coming up, so she asked me to make a couple of shirts really quick. So I'm going to bring in that file, and it's actually a PNG file. Okay, so if you guys don't know this already, inside Leonardo Design Studio, you can actually bring in, let me get myself out of the way because I always feel like I'm in the way from people. Okay, you can actually bring in PNGs, you can bring in JPEGs, you can bring in SVGs, TIFF files, and then we'll have a bunch more files that we're working on right now that we're getting ready to launch pretty soon. So I won't get too deep into that. However, this is a PNG, which typically is treated as a print and cut image, right? This is what we're used to using or what used to seeing. Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to do is when I actually import my design, all I did is brought it in from my file manager, and it's going to give me two options. One will be print and cut, which is the one we're going to select, and then one will be background image. Now, background image on the next live, I'm already saying we're going to go live again together, but on the next one, let's talk about background image, okay? Because I think there's a lot of use cases for that. But for now, we're going to select print and cut and go on to the next page. So on the next screen within Leonardo Design Studio, this is going to be our mask tolerance and selecting the color range. So typically what happens on like a PDF file is it has a white background that needs to be removed. So we have to select that. PNGs usually have the background already transparent, so we don't have to worry about it. But what we want to make sure that we're doing is to make sure that we have the most accurate print and cut possible is we want to go ahead and we want to make sure we change our mask tolerance. If we notice on our image anywhere, let me see if I can actually force it to do it, because this file is pretty clean. Let's go this way. Okay, cool. So you can see on this file really close to the edge that we're getting all of these pixels and we're getting some of the background. So this is what our mask tolerance is going to help us with. This is how much of the background is removed and how much of the foreground is exposed. So you can see now, as I build the mask tolerance, that fine line goes away and it just makes my image a lot more clean, crisp, and I think very dynamic in the way that it actually, the output. So after that, we have a couple other options. We have a color range where we can select the custom color range of removing. So let's say I want to take out this color, this like pale color. I can select it and automatically remove it out. But the cool part about this tool is that when you select the include, the actual image itself still holds all of that background data. So there's still a white background in that image, and there's still this pale color that's in that image. So I can go to include, and if you notice as I'm hovering over, I can actually find different elements inside the actual image itself, which makes that process just so much more simplistic for me. So yep. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I want to actually bring this through one more time for you. And I want to show you. So all I'm doing is hitting Control-I to actually send or import a file, selecting my print and cut, hit next. All right, we talked about the mask tolerance. We're going to increase that a little bit so that we're making sure that our lines are crisp on the edges. And then I'm going to hit next again. Oh yeah, go ahead, sorry.
So you increase the mask tolerance to make the lines cleaner.
Correct. So yeah, so we'll check it out right here. I'm going to go really, really close into this edge. So as you see, I decrease the mask tolerance. You can see more of that edge. But as I increase it is really when that starts to go away. And guys, just so everybody's aware too, it's not perfect, right? If I go too far, you can see that I have a very jagged edge. So you really have to try to find a healthy balance. And sometimes it's not perfect. Like for me, I'm confident with this and comfortable, although I can still see a little bit of a jagged line. The only reason I am comfortable with this, when I go to select next, what you're going to see in real time is it's going to scan my entire image and it'll snap the cut line into place for me. So now I already have my cut lines built in to my design. So you can see this fine blue line. And really where we're looking at for the mask tolerance is things like, let's see, right here on this edge. So you see how this little corner right here, this little edge of this heart, you know, I'm going to get a little bit of white space. However, to the naked eye, these are things that are actually okay, right? Because they're not going to show up really, really well once the final image is done or the final, the final design is complete. But I just want to make sure that I point those out because I think they're important to at least talk about when we're talking about softwares and stuff. And I feel like people don't show the good, the bad, and the ugly. I like showing everything. So with that, we also have the smoothing level, which helps to obviously hone in that cut line a little bit more. And then you have your minimum contour area, which is just distinguishing how defined that cut line is going to be. And then this include holes, as you can see inside all your cavities of your design. This just makes sure that we've included everything, okay?
Wow.
Now, once I hit next and go to the next page, this is the fun part. For all my sticker makers out there, I know you guys love the slight contour offset. Well, this actual tool, and I'm going to just pan in really quick so you can see it really well. This tool, you can create a live contour offset within Leonardo. So as you can see, I can make adjustments to that offset until I'm happy. So like, let's say, for example, I won't include holes. I just wanted to make this into one solid sticker. There we go. I can increase the contour. I can decrease the contour to fit to make it one solid piece, or I can leave some cavities if I want. Or again, because this is actually going on a t-shirt, I'm going to make sure that that my holes are included and the contours brought all the way down to 0. So once I'm done and I hit finish, now my image is within Leonardo Design Studio and it's on my design page. Okay, I just wanted to hop back into really quick to anybody that had any questions about that process as we're going through, because I don't want to go too far with all of us getting confused too. So do we have any big questions that are coming in? Let's see. That's okay.
Wow. Wow. Let's see what this says.
Let's see. How much screen space with the Romeo and Juliet is there? I hate that there is such a small space to work with. Okay, so are you talking about like the LCD screen? I'm going to assume by that one. It looks like how much screen space within the Romeo or Juliet is there?
I don't know, because I don't really understand that question, because really I think it depends on if you are on the mat or off the mat, if you're doing print.
Yes.
You know, it's just different.
Yeah, and honestly, shame on me for not even mentioning that. Romeo and Juliet, when we were talking about the similarities and differences, both machines cut on the mat and cut off the mat. So you don't need a cutting mat to actually use this machine itself. I wish I had I should have brought a 24-inch roll with me, but this can fit a 24-inch, or like we said, for the Cricut Venture folks that are now using smart vinyl, you can actually load that through the Romeo, and you can utilize that without any issue too. So you're not just structured to one, but yeah, there you go.
This is a 24 by 28 Cricut Venture mat.
Okay.
And I put it through the machine with no problem at all.
Without
The
any
hardest
issue.
part was getting this cover back on the mat.
I will say this though, I did just see, okay, and I'll plug one time. I did just see somebody have a hack if you have a maker. So it had, you know, it has that the iPad slot in it. Mm-hmm. Apparently you can put your cutting mat and lay it in there, and then you can put your cover sheet and lay it down in there, and it will actually mirror them both, or it'll marry them both perfectly, because they both sit in that little groove. So yeah, I'm curious to know if you're talking about screen space within the Romeo and Juliet, meaning the LCD screen. The LCD screens, I want to say that they're a 3x4, if I'm not mistaken, or 2.5x3, something like that. But I will say this: here's the one thing, and yes, I'm so glad that you brought that next one up for me. The one thing too with the LCD screen is all of the buttons inside the actual LCD screen themselves. They're actually pretty big. I mean, that's like my hand. And I feel like I have kind of big hands, but you can see like I have space to navigate the actual screens themselves. So don't think that there's going to be too little of space or too much space. Honestly, we can.
We lost you, Patrick.
LCD screen, that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. All right. Here's the question. Here's the dreaded question I know everybody's asking. Yes, Leonardo Design Studio Pro is a subscription. However, we do still have, and we are still updating just as regularly as Pro, Leonardo Design Studio Basic, which is just Leonardo Design Studio. That is our free software. So if you are a designer, and here's the reason why we went both directions, okay? We know that some people prefer Corel, Adobe, Affinity Designer now, Canva. I know some of you guys are using Canva. I mean, I started designing in PowerPoint. So everybody's got their own comfortability. I know I saw that face. Everybody's got their own comfortability with software. So what we wanted to do in Leonardo Design Studio Basic, which actually what I'll go ahead and do is I can show you the differences kind of within Leonardo Design Studio on the on the Basic and on the Pro. Within Leonardo Design Studio Basic, this is basically what you get, okay? You get a toolbar, has a select tool, has node editing, has your basic drawing tools, shape tools, text tool, and then has things like creating a cut contour. So if you are doing print and cut, or maybe you have a design that you're trying to convert into a print and cut, you can do that from this screen. Or if you have like text, so a perfect example of that would be, let me actually go to a new page really quick. I got to get myself out of my own way. I'm going to go to a new page really fast. And let's say I bring in a design from Leonardo Design Studio, okay? And I want to bring in, you know what, let me actually just create something really quick. So if I want to have some text, okay,
First of all, about the text, I love the fact that the character map is right there, where you could just show
Yes.
it. I love that.
Yeah, having the glyphs readily available is great.
OMG.
I love it. I love it. And let's say, oh, you know what? Actually, let's do this. What's your favorite sports team?
Houston Rockets.
Okay. So listen, we're not doing anything. We're fine. No copyright here. All right, athletic font. I'm going to just throw an athletic font on here. Here's a great example of one of the big benefits with like just the regular subscription without paying for it, is that I can still bring in my basic text like most of us are, hit that build cut contour tools, edit a cut contour, so a cut only, meaning that I want to do like maybe an offset layer, and then I can slightly offset that one, change the color to white on this, just because we want to see like that athletic-y jersey style font. You can go to dark background, and now you can see within those letters that I have that cut contour that's built around all of my letters. So Leonardo Design Studio Basic is still very usable to anybody that's starting out in design, but we know that some people are just like me. You know, you may have designs that you already built. Now I build everything now in Leonardo because it's just been my software of choice forever because I help kind of build it, but that's fine. But with that said, you can still use Leonardo Design Studio, the basic edition, to still accomplish a lot of your projects that you're doing. Now, when we get over into the Pro version, that's when we've just taken the opportunity to kind of enhance some of the tools and operations within Leonardo Design Studio to give you more of those pro style tutorial or pro style features within. But perfect example within, whoa, we're going crazy here, guys. All right. Perfect example within Leonardo Design Studio, just to give you a quick rundown. From the homepage is basically just the homepage. And this is a great example of how we do not shy away when it comes to fixing and coding anything. Within Leonardo Design Studio right now, we know with the new Max OS Sonoma system that we've had display issues. So we address that right at the top of the screen every time you go to that homepage about updates, about things that are coming up or things to look out for. So we don't sit here and tell you, oh, we've got it taken care of. No, we address it with you first, and then we go to fix it because we want you to know. Also, too, you have a tutorials page. This is where you can learn not only about how to use your machine, how to use your software, but you also have pro tutorials to show you cool tools and features within the pro software. But also, too, you have your inspiration page. This is one of my favorite parts of Leonardo, because some of us, we all know, are designers, and some of us, we can't design to save our lives, and that's okay. We kind of got you covered. So you can select any of the projects that are within the inspiration tab. It's not only going to show you the finished good, these are all created by our graphic designers, and photos are taken by our photographer in-house, and video is taken by my team. So these are all real things we've made in-house. And then it gives you a full supply list of what you need, tells you exactly how to make it, and then you also have the design available. Here's the best part. Say I want this design, but I don't want to use it now. Just hit that little favorites, favorite it, and then you can go back to it later if you want. Or if you want to make it, you can select the make it button, and it takes you right over to the design page and allows you to start creating that project. Within the actual design library itself, we have over, I want to say there's over 4,000 or 5,000 designs. Everything with the Romeo and the Juliet comes commercial free inside the design library. So there's basic clip arty stuff all the way up to more intricate, multi-layer, multicolor designs within here. There are a ton of different categories you can select from, and also subcategories within all of those categories. So everything is keyworded. Everything has a little heart, so you can heart it and come back to it later. But to the question earlier on about where can you find cut settings and material and stuff, in the material library within Leonardo, you can actually go and see all of our products. So right now we just launched our new Easy PSV glitter. It's our collaboration with Avery Dennison. And this was actually a really awesome product. We just recently launched it. And for me personally, this product is the closest thing that I felt to any of you guys that are familiar with it anyways, that I felt to like 651. So if you're comparing adhesives and you're comparing carriers and all of that stuff, if you're a 651 user, this feels very, very similar to that product. But let's go in and let's find heat transfer vinyl. I'm going to select Easy Weed Electric. Okay, and then I'm going to find my favorite electric color. So you pick one of these colors on here for me to select.
Let's go with cherry. I'm gonna
Okay, perfect. I probably would have selected that one too. All right, so I can go in, I can see the actual thumbnail of the material itself, so I get the color. I now have all of this important information, whether it's a layerable, non-layerable product, CPSA compliant, whether it's an iron-on or if it's a pressure sensitive, and if it's laser friendly. I can also see what it applies to, and here's all my application instructions, guys. This tells me how to apply it. So not only do you have multiple sources of information within the Siser world to be able to make sure your projects are done effectively. I will tell you this though, say that you are somebody like me that may be taking your cutter offline and your system offline. One of the really cool parts is under the My page in Leonardo Design Studios. Here is Leonardo Design Studio. This is our design library files. So what I can actually do before, say I'm going to go on the road, let's say I'm going to a local sporting event, that's a youth sporting event, and we're making all of the fan gear, and we're doing it on the fly because we're bringing a Romeo or a Juliet, and we're making it in the booth. I can actually pre-select all of my artwork that I want from the design library. As long as I select it and it moves over to my design tab, now I have all of these designs ready for me when I get to the event, and I know I'm not going to have internet to be able to access those files. So pretty much everything from the home page to the My page is all web-based, and then the actual physical design studio or the actual design feature inside Leonardo Design Studio is physically downloaded to the actual computer itself. It just makes it a little bit easier, I think, for people when we're designing. Let's see. Oh, we got one coming in. I bought an HSN Romeo bundle. Did it come with a code for Leonardo because I did not see one with mine? Okay. Great question. Yes. If you do buy from HSN, it should have come with a 3-month activation code card inside the box. If you didn't, do me a huge favor. And if somebody can throw this in the chat really quick for me, reach out to us at reach out to us at support@siserna.com. Okay. So our support team can get you hooked up and make sure that obviously you have all of that info. So support@siserna.com is where you can actually send an email to make sure that you get that activation code, because we want to make sure you guys get them. So I do apologize about that too. Siserna.com. That's perfect. Okay. I'm going to go through the project a little bit more. Let me go back into Leonardo, and we're going to go back to our original design. Now, with this design, there's a couple of things I'm going to do with it. Now, I was told, okay, that the actual heart itself was going to be in gold glitter, and then the only thing we're really doing in a print and cut is going to be like the coffee cup and the peace sign itself. From what I remember, let me just triple check, because this is also for somebody, so I want to make sure that I have it correct. Okay, let's see. Oh no, I lied, sorry. So what's it going to be in gold for me is going to be this heart. And what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to bring, instead of these little circles, I'm going to put 2 little hearts here, okay? So this is how within Leonardo Design Studio Pro, okay, I want to show it to you this way really quick. Alrighty, how we can actually break this file down to make it work for us. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to deselect print and cut, which is now just creating a background image. So this is just an image that lives on the screen. I'm going to go ahead and blow this up a little bit so everybody can see.
Patrick, 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Are you getting ready to edit this PNG in front of us?
Yes.
I'm going to sit back down. I'm going to go sit back down right there. I'm going to sit back down, Patrick.
That's okay. That's all right. All right. So what we're doing right now, or what I'm showing you right now in software, is I'm going to show you how to basically dismantle a PNG and then turn it into some printable products and then some cuttable, okay? So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I select everything. Now, this is already set up as a print and cut as an indicator that if you actually hover over the image and don't click on it, you'll see that green contour line in all the cavities and everywhere, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I select my entire image. I'm going to right click, go down to paths, and then I'm going to select ungroup paths. And what this is going to do is now I've just taken this PNG and all of my print elements, here's my cut lines that I'll delete because we'll add those back in later. But then even on my heart, I have some cut lines that I need to delete as well that I can come back to later on. Okay, so with that on the layers panel, and these are just elements that I'm going to kind of keep around. So I want to move this heart back, get rid of that cut line there. And then I'm going to go into my layers panel and see how much stuff I'm working with. So you can see all of these individual pieces of blue are my actual cut contours. So what I'm going to do is select the top one, scroll down until I see the bottom of my cut contour files, hold down shift, and then hit select. And what this just did is it selected all of the actual cut contours around my image, hit delete, and now my word is all cuttable. Okay, so now I have a completely cuttable word itself. Or what I can actually do to make sure that it's cuttable if I'm not confident in it, highlight it, select the build cut contours, and you don't have to do much other than hit editable shapes, include holes, and then apply. And now you can see I have a cut version of this and I have a non-cut version of this. So what I got to do from here is I have to now select all of my cuts from my PNG. And you can see sometimes there are a lot, so you just scroll all the way down to the bottom, select those. Oh, I don't want to delete those ones though. So deselect that one, and deselect that one. And then now I should be able to delete that. And now you can see that all of these are in one simple shape within my actual layers panel itself. So now I've broken down the text part of my PNG to make everything cuttable. Now the next step is going to be to make sure that the coffee cup, which is going to be a part that we're going to cut, as well as the finger or the peace sign, are both set up for print and cut. Now, really quickly, what I want to do for this file, just because this is the first time that I've really been touching it, because I literally just downloaded it right before we started, is I'm going to go ahead and make sure that everything's sized appropriately to what I want. So once I have all of my images kind of stacked up with each other, I'm going to go into my color picker again. And right here is going to be my width and my height. Okay, now what we're doing for this particular project is we're doing a kid's, a really small shirt. And I've already kind of measured it out. So I'm going to go 6 inches for the whole image wide. And then this is going, actually, you know what? I'm going to go 6 inches wide for this one. So now what this is going to allow me to do is start to break down my file so that I can set it up for, again, that print and cut step. So what I like to do is I like to center everything, make sure everything's in place. These I know are coming with me to the print and cut stuff. So I'm going to take those and select it. I'm also going to hold down shift and select both of my other printable elements. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to come down to my editor, hit copy, open up a tab just to throw these off to the side for a second. And I'm going to paste those onto a new tab. All right. The only reason I'm doing that is because I want to be able to delete all of this out of this portion of the design that will be cuttable. And then I'm going to bring both of those elements back together. If there's any questions to Delonda, please feel free to interrupt me and say shut up for a minute.
I'm in awe. I'm just watching. I'm in awe. I just can't even believe it. Wow.
Okay. Here's a cool thing. I want to show you guys something really awesome, if it's okay with you, inside Leonardo Design Studio, which I figure it might be. We have a really cool tool. If you hold down, just as a pro tip for anybody, if you take the magnifying glass down here, and I'm going to tell you a little inside secret. So this little caret that's next to this % sign does nothing. This has been like this since it's been like that since day one. And we've always had the intention to build this out as like a mini menu to be able to go to 100, 90%, 80%, and so on. But what we ended up doing is we turned this magnifying glass into a fast way to do it. So what you can do is select the magnifying glass, and then all you're going to do is hover, giving yourself a little bit of space around your image, around whatever you want, and then let go. And now you just snap as closely or zoomed into that image as close as possible. And then what you can do is you can always hit 100% to go back.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So check this out. This is going to blow your mind, I think. So we have this little tool in here because I'm going to actually take this heart. I want to duplicate it because I'm going to use this. I told you I'm going to replace those circles in software. So I'm just going to put this off to the side for me. I'm going to select my heart. And then I'm going to go here to the eraser tools. And I'm going to find the whole eraser. And then I'm going to go ahead and erase. Give me 1 second here. I probably should pick a color that works. Select my whole eraser. We're good. And And then I gotta select my image too. Hold on. There we go. Full eraser. Come on. Don't be finicky on me. We're showing the people something here.
Show.
All right. It's always when I need it to work too. Here, we'll show you a quick way to do it. You can hit build cut contours really fast. Sorry about that, guys. And then what I can do is I'm gonna just take this basic shape. Now you can see obviously within the shape that there's some stuff I have to clean up. So I'm just gonna hit apply, delete this guy, and then I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit more on this heart because I wanna clean it up a little bit. And then I'm gonna double click, which is gonna now bring up all of my individual nodes on the actual image itself. So let me bring this in just a little bit more. Okay, double click, here's all of my nodes. And now I'm basically just gonna clean up some of this image itself within Leonardo Design Studio. So we can take these nodes, I'm just double clicking them because we want this hump to get out of this heart. I don't know why we got that in there. And then we're gonna find that, there we go, we fixed that one. And then down at the bottom, we're gonna fix this. There we go.
Wow.
Get rid of some of those. And then now we have something that's still the same basic shape, which is what I want to accomplish. I want these to look alike, but now we have it a little bit cleaner. And now my lines, when I actually go to cut it, are not going to cut all jagged for me. They'll cut a little bit more crisp and clean. So from this step on, all I'm going to do is I want to magnify my whole image. And I'm going to basically replace, like I said, these little circles with the hearts themselves. So I'm just going to ungroup these really fast. Take the hearts out of there. Make this image a little bit smaller. And then I can replace those. Peace, love, and Starbucks. And then also really quick, a pro tip for anybody. Okay, I want to show you this because I think this is cool as well. This heart, now everybody in here knows that once I make sure that all of this is welded back together, this word is welded back together, and then the piece is welded back together. Everybody in here knows the same thing that I know is that we all like everything to be on the same linear plane, right? So for this one, I'm going to basically move everything center to itself vertically or across. Mm-hmm. So what we're going to do is I want this heart to be in the exact same location that it is here, but over here. Mm-hmm. Okay. So instead of me copying and pasting, which I'm just holding, it's just holding down Control and then hitting C and V, and then bringing this over here to try to place it in, because you guys all know that this is like the biggest struggle when it comes to designing. Yeah. Just simply hold down Control, hit Control C and then Control V. Use your directional arrows on your keyboard, and now I can just jump that into place. Yeah. And make it a lot easier. And then if we want to do micro adjustments to that, hold down the Shift key and we can move it slower. So now I know that everything here is all on the same plane, so that when I actually go to do my application, I can use these as registration points of reference to actually line up that text with the heart, the main heart, because these will be cut out with the main heart that we're going to be using for this project. So I'll bring my heart back into place. Make sure that's there. And then I'm going to go ahead and select all three of these elements so I have everything together. And for me, I'm just going to hit Control G to group them so that I can go ahead and send them on over to the Romeo. So what I'm going to show you really quick, actually, unless we have any questions that are popping in here. Okay, can Leonardo be used with Cricut series machines? Great question. Unfortunately, no. And that's not at any fault.
Patrick! I don't know where you went.
I'm here. I promise I'm here. So I don't understand. Okay, so I have these cameras. If anybody has Canon EOS 200s, let me know how to change the the auto timer. I have them on a dummy battery, but for whatever reason, every time I use these things, they always chime out every 15 minutes. So I'm sorry. If that happens again, it's a simple click of a button, I promise. But the only reason that we don't connect, and this is full disclosure to you guys in this group, and this will probably get back to Cricut somehow, and that's okay, and I'll get another phone call. But the reason we don't is because they won't allow us to. Simple enough. They will not allow us to program to their machines, and they won't allow their software to be programmed to ours. At least there's been no conversation that I know about it, and I know that it's been tough to get that messaging across in the past. So for us, we cannot, but you never know in the future. You never know what the future holds for any of this stuff. So maybe one day soon. But I will tell you, as a Cricut user, this software is because I started out with Cricut, and then when I came to Siser, I became a Silhouette user, and then I became a Corel Draw user, and then eventually Adobe Illustrator, and then now Leonardo is what I honestly primarily design in. I don't even actually, if I look at I think the only thing that I might still have on my desktop right now is Cricut Design Space, and I think the only reason I still have it is just because I haven't deleted it yet. So with that. For me personally, I use Leonardo exclusively. We tried to bridge the gap perfectly between basically what the Silhouette software was offering, what Cricut software was offering, but more importantly, bridging the gap in all the holes that they were missing and what we thought, or at least what we felt that they were missing early on. And now we're getting into a lot of the standard stuff. So new tools are coming very soon for anybody that does any etching or scratch engraving, as well as card makers that do any scoring or folding. Those tools are on the way. We're finishing up packaging right now and what those will look like. Anybody that needs a stand or a home base. I know I saw some comments earlier when I was checking the live feed. Some people were like, well, what's the footprint of the Romeo? We'll actually have a stand that's going to be coming out towards the end of this year that is specifically made for the Romeo, for the Juliet. But we kept in mind that people have Cricuts, that people have Cameos. So the shelves on the actual stand will not only fit our machines, but they will fit any of your machines that you use. So if you're a Cricut user and you need a storage shelf, if you're a Silhouette user, you need a storage shelf. For any of the 12-inch models, they'll also fit on those shelves for you as well, so that you can put those to the side. Obviously, I love looking every once in a while down at the bottom shelf and saying, oh, I remember when I'm using my Romeo or my Juliet, but at least you'll have an option for it. You might as well have sat down in that chair. I feel like I'm blowing your mind right now.
I'm not a speechless. I'm not ever at a loss for words. But okay, I do have a question. So
go for it.
Even if you don't have Leonardo Design Studio Pro, are you still able to create in Leonardo and then save and export your files into Design Space?
So here's what I will tell you. We are looking, so that's one of the things early on. Right now within Leonardo Design Studio Pro, you can export files in an SVG, PNG, PDF, TIFF file, JPEG, and a PLT file, I believe are the main file types. Within the basic, the only way that you can export out of software is by creating a Leonardo Design Studio file. So with that said, what we wanted to do is we wanted to kind of explore what options and what basic options that people could want, maybe wanting to bring out an SVG or wanting to do something like that. Those are options that we're discussing right now and figuring out what the best path of success is for us and for everybody else. Because obviously we don't want it any time for it to fail, crash. And anything that we've gone into with development, we want to make sure that we're able to monitor it regularly so that obviously you don't have any issues long term. Okay. Since Romeo is open all the time, no cover, is there a correct way to blow out or clean the dust? And can I use compressed air? Here's what I do. No, I'm just kidding. Don't actually do that. Compressed air. Yeah, compressed air actually works really, really well. I have a can kind of sitting at my desk, and we also usually, we're tearing down this set behind me this Friday, so we don't have it here. But on the other set, I always have canned air that we spray stuff out with. However, I will tell you this, one of the easy ways to clean the grip wheels, and this is not just for our machine, this is for any machine that gives you the freedom to actually navigate and move the grip wheels, is taking just a little microfiber cloth with some rubbing alcohol on it, putting it on the grip wheel, and then making sure that you obviously use very, very light pressure because you don't want that grip wheel to catch the microfiber cloth and then roll up. But it's a really easy way to be able to clean the gunk off of the wheel itself by just kind of putting your finger there, hitting the up button so it goes the opposite direction of you, and it kind of cleans that wheel off. Much like if you were to take a tire on a car and spray it with water, it starts spinning so it cleans it off kind of thing. It's the same concept, so easy way to do it. Please put slice in basic. That's actually not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be.
You know what? I'm not going to do it now, but I'm gonna call our software team on that. I'll ask about that one because I think slice and basic would be a cool one or a cool thing to do. for sure. Does it have to be calibrated to print and cut? Come on. Do you not think that we thought of everything? No, I'm kidding. With that, every Romeo and Juliet does come pre-calibrated out of the box. So you don't necessarily, or should I say you shouldn't need to calibrate your machine. Now, in the event that, because these things get jostled up, right? They're put into a shipping container, shipped over, we handle them, people handle them on and off the line. And then obviously retail stores handle them, UPS drivers handle them, everybody, right? So sometimes they can come like misaligned a little bit, or the calibration isn't pinpoint. On our YouTube, it's Siser North America on YouTube. Feel free to subscribe. We actually just launched a calibration video on exactly how to calibrate accurately, what common pen types and stuff like that are used, as well as what the appropriate steps are to calibrate. So yes, every once in a great while, but realistically with any machine, if you're running enough print and cut jobs through it, you should have to calibrate on, I don't say a semi-regular basis, but once every few months is not bad to go in there. Just make sure that everything's ship-shape. I will say that with full disclosure that I've been seeing some of your comments out there from all of you guys on different social platforms. Seems like certain ones you need to calibrate more often than not, but I'm just throwing it out there as a slight jab. We're just bringing a little shade in this one, not too much. All right.
Rhymes with Ricket.
Yeah. All right. So in Silhouette Business Edition, you can transfer an image into a shape. Does Leonardo have that option? So I'm gonna show it to you the way that I'm thinking you're talking about, and I hope that this is correct. So inside Leonardo Design Studio, let me go to, and if we were talking about an actual image into a shape, let's take like this Starbucks cup, for example. I'm just gonna create another one of these and get them out of the way. And actually what I'm gonna do, let me copy and paste this just to a new page, just so that I don't ruin this project, because this is one that I have to do. Okay. Let me blow this up really quick. So easy thing that you can do, and I'll switch over to basic, just so you know I'm not cheating you out on anything, is that you can still hit this contour tool, go to create editable cut, or cuttable only. And from here, you can create your offset if you want to put a contour on the image itself, or if you don't want to, just simply hit apply, move your image to the side. And I'm hoping this is what you're talking about, is like making an image into like a cuttable file. If you're talking about turning an image into a print and cut, it's the same process. However, you just select the print and cut only. Again, you can still change your contour, your offset. If you're a sticker maker, you can still do a full perf or die cut. And then you hit apply, and now you can see that I have a cut line that's around that'll be around my image itself, which I gotta, put onto this page. Okay, and then now there's like you can see that there's a little green thing indicating that there is something for me to use, obviously, as like a image itself. So great question though. That was a really, really good question. What other ones we got? Does are going to have templates like yes. So here's actually, I'm going to show you two things. Okay, I'm going to tell you one thing, and then I'm going to show you something that's really cool. And I think Delonda got to see it at Wallapalooza of how I bring in t-shirts and make fake t-shirt templates for me to use. So for us at Siser, we are working right now with a couple different companies that do t-shirts really, really well at a high level to create actual t-shirt templates inside software. So like for me, I'm wearing right now, this is a District, this is a perfect tri-blend tee. If I'm going to design to a perfect tri-blend tee from District, I want to know that when I bring it into software, it's a perfect tri-blend tee. I want to see that color palette. I want to know what it's going to look like on my garment. So for those kind of things, that's what we're working towards. We're not working towards giving you just a simple t-shirt shape or some simple cartoony mug that you can design to. Things like within software, I'll show you where these are really, really relevant, is like, let's say that I want to take this image. I'm going to take it off of print and cut. And this is actually one thing that I know that you got to see at Walla. But let's say that I want to take this exact image and I want to create, put it on a, let's say a cup, right, or a mug. We actually have, and the only reason that I say this is what I mean by living templates, and what we want to create is I can go into Leonardo Design Studio Pro, into my warp tools, hit the cone warp, and now I can take this image I can measure the top diameter and the bottom diameter of my cup, as well as the length, and then I can adjust my image width and my image height to this cup. Here's the part where I'm talking about living templates. Instead of this being a static image of a cup, and let's say that I have this image wrapped around the back, I can actually move this around so I can see all angles and all sides of what my mug will look like. And the cool part is that once I'm done, let me make this like really dramatic, or as dramatic as I can. Once I'm done, I can do a 2D unwrap and I can actually see the warp within the image itself. So to answer your question, one of the big asks, or one of the big things that we want to make sure that we do within Leonardo Design Studio is ensuring that when you have an actual garment you're designing to, that you have the garment to design to, because I think that that's the most important part. But should I show them really quick how I do t-shirts?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So
and
here's
then
what
we're
I'm
gonna do a giveaway. I want to do one giveaway.
Oh yeah, do the giveaway. Do the giveaway. Sorry.
Let's
do the giveaway, and I'll grab my shirt really quick that I'm looking for.
The word that y'all gonna put in is Siser. Go ahead and type it in. I'm gonna go to the giveaway tool. I'm going to go to the giveaway.
I didn't even ask you before we started too. How was your day today? How's everything?
It was good.
I feel like I didn't. We jumped right into this. I didn't even get to say hi.
It was great. Okay,
Good,
the word is going to be Siser. If I can spell Siser. Am I on there? Okay.
There you go. Siser, like the salad.
Yes.
Are you coming to Printing? Actually, this is for anybody in the group. And are you guys coming to Printing United at all?
No, you know what? The guy Mitch from Shimika asked me that too. I was like, I don't even know what that is.
Mitch, isn't that? Oh, I remember. He was at Walla too, right?
Yeah.
He's got a cool accent. I remember him.
He does.
Yeah. No, it's if you do, we have free registration, so you can get at least a free pass into the Printing United. So for anybody out there that is or interested in Printing United, we'll have a post going out. Actually, I think one went out tonight at 6, and then we'll also have a post going out next week that will have a link to a free registration pass. So if you guys are in the Atlanta, Georgia area, it's at the World Congress, or at Georgia World Congress Center, or World Georgia Congress Center, one way. It's at the World Georgia Congress Center, October 18th through the 20th in Atlanta, Georgia. So that'll be a fun one to do. We've done them at Cobb Galleria, and then we've done them at the World Congress Center, and I like the Congress Center a little bit better.
All right, I see 90 entries, and I know it's more than 90 people in here.
Wow, that's awesome, guys.
I'll wait till it gets to 100, and then I'll click draw.
That's insane. That's actually really cool.
You don't know how excited I get when somebody wins. Like, I feel like I won. Like, if they win, I win. I
like it. All right, while you're doing that, I'm just gonna put the rest of this together, just so I can get this project done tonight too. Put that one in.
Diane Lotchfeld.
Hey, congratulations.
Diane Lotchfeld. She's still here. Diane Bueller. Yay, congrats, Diane.
Congratulations.
You won some good stuff, girl.
I love it. And remember too, all of those will be hand selected as well. So these are all coming directly. I'm putting it together for you, but technically these are coming directly from you, from your brain, what you think is beautiful here at Siser. So this is a cool one.
I think everything is beautiful. One of the questions I saw earlier was about, let me move this, about the Siser Aurora and like what was the good color to use. So I use this to Siser Aurora. Mm-hmm. I just use it on a black polyester bag. So I don't remember what the question, maybe it was Mary, I think. But and it comes in, so that's one of my favorites.
I love the Aurora as like, definitely an awesome product.
Like all the colors, because I couldn't just get one. I could not just get one.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah. So that's going to be in the bundle, whatever we do. Okay. And how many giveaways are we doing, Patrick? Because that was
how many do you want to do another giveaway?
Can
How
we
many do
do
you want to do?
I want to do at least 5.
At least 5?
Is that too many?
That's never too many for me.
I
I'm
think
fine with that. Let's do that. Let's do you have stuff too to give away, like for you to give away?
I don't know, Patrick.
All right, that's fine. So next one, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go through one more, or I'm gonna go through this project really quick, and I want you to select, for the next one, we're gonna do 3 of these giveaways. So we just did one that they get a vinyl pack from you.
Okay.
Let's do one more for a vinyl pack. Okay. And then let's do the other 2. Let's do maybe sublimation markers.
That's good. Can we do one easy glow?
Yeah. Let's do this then. Let's do the 2 packs from you. Then we'll do one that's easy glow, 1 sublimation markers, and then I'm gonna save the last one as a surprise for last. Okay.
Okay.
I will say now, just up front, just because I know everybody's gonna be all geeked up, and it's not a cutter. Okay. Just want to start off with that, but I'm gonna save it as a surprise for last.
Okay. And you can only win one time.
Only once.
So
sorry,
if you
guys.
One, then you can't win again.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So your project.
Yep. All right. So what I'm doing right now is I am just organizing. Let me hop back into software for you. So right now I'm just kind of organizing my whole image, making sure that all the pieces look good and everything makes sense here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to ungroup these 3 elements, and now I'm going to start setting up my project. And I know we're talking a lot in between, guys, but like honestly, this process would take me less than 2 minutes to do in real time. So I know we're talking through it and answering questions. So I just want to make sure that we're not spending a ton of time doing this one. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and select my hearts here, okay, and select this heart because these are going to be my HTV cut elements, okay? And I'm going to change the color just so I recognize them or know them as a separate color. And this is supposed to be like a gold. Let me see here. Oh, I know what I did wrong. I didn't make this an editable image. I kept the original. So now, there we go. So now we're changing the colors. That's why, I wonder if that's why my whole eraser didn't work too. Look at that. Okay, really quick, I can show you this, sorry. Now that the whole eraser is working, and I figured out what I did wrong. So usually with an eraser tool or adding any fills back into an image itself, a lot of times they don't have what are called parameter, like in the actual image, like parameter stoppers, okay? And so within Leonardo Design Studio, you actually have on our whole eraser, if you selected your image ahead of time, I can color this, okay? And as you saw, I'm coloring way off of this image, but because it's selected, it's only filling in the holes of that image itself when I'm going over and above anything else in the image. So you don't have to be a perfect tracer or a perfect drawer in software to be able to achieve this step. It's just more or less about selecting whatever you want to obviously erase, whatever holes you want to erase in an image, and then being able to run just that nib over the actual image itself. Now, with this, I want to change the color of this heart to match the colors of these hearts. So all I'm going to do, my properties menu, there's a little eyedropper, select that little color picker and find the color that I want to change that to. And now I know that all 3 of these elements are going to be the same. So I won't forget them, which is cool. All right. And I'm going to group those together, and I want to move those off to the side because the next step is creating a print and cut out of these 2, the rest of this image itself. So with that, I'm actually going to make sure that this and this are on the same level. There we go.
And you just align those to the bottom?
That's it. No, I aligned them actually through center.
Oh, okay.
So this was a V. So V will align them vertically, and then C will actually align them, V will align them horizontally. Okay, so they're on the same plane and through the center, and then C will actually align everything vertically for you so that everything's like in the middle, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yep. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to select all of these, select my build cut contours, and then I'm going to keep it on print and cut, make sure that the holes are included because I got all these little tiny bits. And here's what I like to do personally to make sure, because all of you guys know that if the calibration is off ever so slightly on anything, we don't want to waste material. So what I always do is just the secondary thing is I go to my offset amount. Not only can I build this out, but I can also put an inset into my image. So I'm at 0 right now. All I'm going to do, let me really get into that edge there. So you guys can really see this. I can actually put in an inset ever so slightly into my image itself. So now I can ensure, instead of having to build a contour offset, I can just bring the cut line into the software a little bit, or into the image a little bit, to ensure that I'm going to get a really good solid print and cut. Okay, so now I can back that up. I'm just checking my file, making sure that everything looks okay. Everything to me looks pretty good. So now I can hit apply. And then the last step for me is just organizing my artboard. So for these are going to be a printable image. So I'm going to actually put on my page marks. Okay. Can I show you actually an update that was triggered kind of by you?
Yes.
Okay.
I love triggering updates.
So you told me at Walla, and I'm pretty sure multiple people told me this at Walla, hey, what are the print and cut registration sizes? Like, how much room do we get with print and cut? And, you know, I came back to the team and we talked about it quite a bit. And what we actually added is in the preferences menu. So if you see right now, this is the quote unquote standard margin that we're able to use. But if I go into the file and into preferences and open up my preferences, I can actually select this small page margin right here, hit accept, and then deselect my page marks. Now I want you to watch carefully because these are actually going to shoot up here. So deselect my page marks and select them again, and now they live closer to the border of my page. So because you told me it wasn't good enough, we made more for you. For you. I'm turning off the camera and I'm going back purposely to the feed because I want to see you sit down. I love it. I love it.
That's right.
Hey, you said you wanted bigger print cuts. I gave it to you, but you got to go to your preference menu right now to get it. Maybe we can go full borderless here pretty soon. Wink, wink. We got one question while you're recovering. Hi, Delonda and Patrick. My question is, do you have an ETA for when the rhinestone generator will be added to the software? So this is a great question. I told everybody at Walla that we were only around 90 days out. We did have a member of our team that ended up being sick for an extended period of time. So that was one person that was going to be working on that. So we are starting to work on it now. So very, 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 I promise you, because of the small delay, very, very soon it will be coming out. I don't have an exact date and a time yet, though. But as soon as I know something, I promise you guys will know something. What do we got? How do you cut twice on the Romeo? Also, can you demonstrate how to cut different colors of vinyl of the same design on the same mat, specifically how you position the blade? That's actually really a great one. If we can save that question for the next one we do, let's do it with intention to really deep dive into the cutter itself. Because I actually want to show you guys how to do, I hate saying this because then she's going to go sit down again. I'm going to show you how to do 4 print and cut pages on one 24 by 24 inch mat and how to make all of those print and cut pages work. Now they work individually, but I'm going to show you how to set them up on your mat so that you can cut them quickly and get 4 things done really, really fast. Within the Romeo. And then I think it's only customary that we show them like a 20-inch wide cut too. You know, we should show them a really wide cut for the next one because I got the printer. We have the printer out there. That's in to cut wider. So we'll show you a large scale print and cut. So maybe we set up, what's today's date? Oh, it's the beginning of the month. Maybe middle of November. Want to do like right before Thanksgiving?
Whatever you say.
I'm with you. I'm trying. I'm asking you. This is.
I don't even know how to handle this. I don't even know how to handle this.
I usually do it piece by piece, feature by feature. That's it. And you accept the one feature, and then you move on to the next. You get excited. You accept it into your life, and then you move on to the next one. It's a process, I promise you. All right. So I showed you guys how to do the print and cut, how to set that up in software. Okay. I showed you guys how to set up or take a PNG and basically break it down. Okay. What I'm going to do is I want to put my margins back to normal because I don't necessarily, for me personally, I don't need the full page for this particular project. So I'm only really cutting one. And what I like to do when I cut stuff, I like to make sure that I save some of the DTV. So just so you guys know, Easy Color DTV is a product that you can write with a Sharpie on as well for like quick labeling for things. So you can write on a Sharpie and then heat apply it to something. It'll seal that ink in. So I usually save my DTV scraps in case we have things around the house that we have to label. Our clothing, backpacks, you guys know, everything for the kids. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change. You can see right here that my mark spacing or my registration marks are at a standard length of 0.492. But what I'm going to do is I can do one of two things. I can bring my image over so it's within frame, or I can go up to this mark spacing option and I can change this to 0.125 and bring those marks a little bit closer to my image so that I don't have to worry about too much waste, right? Because we're already going to be printing this on a full page, but I don't want to have too much waste. And I'm going to actually double this one because I have to do 2. So now I have the ability to do the print and cut. I have some extra space. Ooh, I don't want to put the Starbucks.
What did you do to double it?
All I did is hit Control V, Control C, or Control C, Control V. That's it. Nothing super special. And then I'll show you really quick how you can center everything. So if I select all my images, I'm just going to group them together, and then I'm just going to hit C and then V, and now I've centered it to the page. But for this one, I don't want to necessarily center it to the page. I just want it at the bottom portion of my page, and because I'm going to save the top as a scrap. Okay. So from here, let me just make sure that I'm on the appropriate Wi-Fi for this cutter and for the printer itself. Cool, we're connected. I'm going to go to my printer tab right here, and I'm going to select the printer that I'm going to be using. And in this case, I'm going to be using, this is the 9500 series. So I got this 9500 series. I want to change the letters to paper size. And this is what I tell people all the time. Your system or your printer has a series of standard print sizes that it can accomplish. Yep. If it can execute a print, Romeo or Juliet can execute the cut. So perfect example, like an 11 by 17, if I wanted to make this an 11 by 17 page, that is something I can cut on Juliet. For a 14 by 17, that's when I might have to go over to the Romeo and utilize a bigger platform. But you guys have a ton of options that I think most people aren't even really aware of within their own systems, or knowing what printer or what their printers can actually do. The same reason why if I go to the properties menu, I can change the print quality from standard to high. I can change it from plain paper to photo paper. And I can almost assume that there may be a question of, well, how do I know what print settings? I do everything on plain paper and typically standard quality. Okay. Reason why is the fastest output. It's the least amount of ink, but the most dynamic color range of that ink at a standard quality for plain paper on the Easy Color DTV. I also personally am the kind of person that I like a little bit more of a matte look to my designs as opposed to a really glossy look. So for me, this has been the best settings for me. Plain paper, standard print quality, works perfectly fine. And then I'm gonna hit OK. And all this is going to do is just verify that my page set up. And then once I set it up, you can see my page changed from, which it was an A4 size page before, it changed it to a US letter for me. So the only thing that I have to do is just make sure my images are within the page again, and I'm good to go. And I don't have to do anything from here. Okay. So I can take this, highlight it, hit send design, go to the send design menu, which is a whole nother live. We'll save this for December or January, because doing just the send design menu, we could spend hours on this, I promise. Yeah. But my printer is selected, my page is selected, and then I'm also not using.
Come back, Patrick. We can't see you. You're back.
All right. This is my camera telling me that I'm talking too much. That's all. All right, so I have my printer selected. I have my material size selected. I can select a matte if I want to, but I just keep it on material roll.
You never use a matte, Patrick?
Huh?
You never use a matte?
Rarely. Like even for this project, I won't use a matte when I cut it because I have enough space up here for the rollers to catch the material, so it's not necessary to have the matte up there. But
I have another question then about that. let me
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
you.
go ahead.
So when you let me move my table up. So if you're not using a mat and you're using the Siser Easy Color DTV,
Yes.
do you keep, I don't know if you can see mine, but do you keep your, let me move this over. Are your rollers over here?
It all depends. Like for me, yeah, you'll see, I'll set up my rollers. Usually I'll set them up, which I think my name's blocking mine too. So hold on. Here, we'll just do this. So you can see like my rollers are set up to fit the letter size sheet, but I usually like to make sure, in a good rule of thumb, if it's anything under 12 inches, 12 inches or less, 2 points of contact is really all that's necessary on your pinch wheels themselves. Okay. Typical, if you look at your Cricut machine, there's little tiny like toothed rollers, like little thin ones, but the two main big ones are actually on either side to hold that material or that mat. That's really just 2 points of contact that you need to accomplish anything. Anything bigger than 12 inches, a good rule of thumb is to make sure that you have a good spacing between your pinch wheels. Now, a lot of cutting systems that I've run into don't seem like they've taken this into account. We have. On the bottom of your machine, you'll see these little like, you'll see the big main metal bar that runs, that big grip wheel that runs all the way along. Well, there's these little milled out like rough edges or rough portions of that. These were all milled out in very specific locations at 0 to 3, 5, 7, 12, 15, 20, and 24 inch. And the reason why,
Grit bar, grit mark.
Yeah, yep, the grit bar, yep, the bottom one. These were milled out on a very specific level because we wanted to accomplish or accommodate any material from 2.5 all the way up to that 25.5 inch that you get at a max. So when we talk about placement of pinch wheels, there are some things to look out for to make sure that you don't have tracking issues where your material shifts a lot when it's cutting, to make sure that your material stays in one place and you don't have a ton of like miscuts, jump cuts, things like that. But for the most part, it makes it pretty simplistic, I think, to have the grip wheels kind of in specific locations. But for this, yes, to your point, I keep mine kind of closer together for this type of project itself. But the good news is that the Romeo and the Juliet don't cut within the pinch wheels. I could set 2 pinch wheels directly in the middle of the cutter. It will cut still edge to edge. It's not stopped by anything here that has to do with the actual physical pinch wheels themselves. So I may throw a piece of material in and only throw 2 pinch wheels on it and just let it cut, and it cuts without any issue as far as I'm concerned, or as far as I've experienced.
Okay. So I always just cut on the mat because that's just better.
Yeah, I think everybody has a preference. For sure, everybody's got a preference for what they prefer. And some people like mats. And I mean, especially for me, I'm a big scrap user. So mats really come in handy when it comes to like actually creating things. So from the Send Design menu within Leonardo, we have the ability to make multiple copies right here. So I can select copies from this screen as well, just as a last resort. But I'm going to send this to the printer right now, and I think I have some Easy Color loaded up currently within Leonardo. And this printer sometimes takes a minute to kick in and be happy with me. So, yep, that one's printing right now. And then now what I'm going to actually do for you is I'm going to jump really quick in, and I'm going to actually, before we cut the next thing, let's do. You want to do a giveaway? Really quick?
Yes.
Okay, let's do that one.
Is this for Aurora? What is this for, Aurora?
This one could be for your Aurora one.
All right, that'll be the let's not call it that because that'll just that'll be too hard. Let's call it the word will be glossy.
Glossy, okay, I like that. Ooh, we got a lot of people that are going both ways on this. Some people are matte people, and some are team no. I'm happy with it. Team no matte. I'm definitely team no matte. And for people that are a matte person, I don't hold any judgment to you because I think that mattes are great, especially when you're in my craft room and you have scraps everywhere. All right, keyword glossy. This is for the Aurora one, right?
Yes.
Okay, and are you writing these down?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Because if you left it up to me, that would not have gone as well as we wanted it to.
I'm excited. You don't know how excited I get. I got my big pen right here.
I like it.
Like, well, Delonda, why do you have a big? Don't worry about it. Mind your business.
I like that.
All right. Come on, glossy.
Let's see it.
All right, we're at 92.
So is that the rule? Is that usually generally your rule of thumb? You get to 100, and then that's when you'll pull it?
No.
Okay. I'm just special like that, or what?
It's just you. It's just because you're special. You give it 100%. You gotta give 100%.
That's it.
100%. Okay.
All right, we're good.
Y'all ready? I'm getting ready to draw. Let me go and do it.
I'll always do the sound effects in my head for some reason.
Diana.
Hey, congratulations. Very cool. Another material giveaway of Aurora.
Now, first we had a Diane, and now we have a Diana.
I love it. I love it. So what we're going to do for that one is we'll do one of each color of the Aurora.
Okay.
Still do a toolkit and still do throw in a decorate. Because I think those are super important to have. The decorate.
Yeah, Patrick. Y'all are giving all the good stuff.
Hey, listen, I just need to make sure that you send me an email or a text with this.
Don't you worry. You said one of each color of the Aurora, one toolkit.
Color of the Aurora, and then we'll do a tool set for that one and a decorate.
Ooh, Diane, I'm coming to visit. I want all this stuff. All right. Actually,
really quick, just a question for the group too, while everybody's kind of commenting in. Is there anybody in the Atlanta area or around the Atlanta area that's within driving distance of the World Congress Center in Atlanta? Because if so, I want you to come and see me in the Siser booth. I'm going to be there very, very soon. And not only will I be there, I come home on Friday, and then I'm home for the weekend, and then on Monday I go back down to Florida because we have HSN the following Tuesday. So I'm going from Printing United to HSN directly.
Can you give us any secrets about what's going to be on HSN when you go?
So yes, I can. You want to know what the bundle is going to be? Is that what you're asking? So it will be a Romeo bundle this time. The Juliet bundle we did last time is where we favored that one, but this one we're opening up with the Romeo. And there's might be or may not be a product that I mentioned earlier in this live. So make sure #replay to find out what we talked about a little bit, but this is also a part of the bundle. I will tell you there is one more thing, but I can't tell you what it is. You'll have to tune into HSN to find out, but I'll give you a hint.
What day is that, Patrick?
That is going to be Tuesday. Let's see. That is Tuesday the 24th.
October 24th. Okay.
October 24th.
So did y'all hear that? October 24th, he's going to be on HSN, and there's going to be a Romeo bundle.
Mm-hmm. With something that's pretty big as well. So if you are a designer, or now, you know what, actually I'm going to say this. If you're not so much of a designer, there may be a very specific design, something that we may have partnered with for this one. So I'm not going to tell you who it was. I'm not going to tell you where it is, and I'm not even going to tell you how long you get it for, but let's just say it's a long time. You get it for a long time.
Yep.
And it's something that's normally like a $300 value. So.
And it's included with that bundle?
It's included with the bundle. Yes. Absolutely. I swear to God, I wish I could tell you what it is. You got to tune in though to find out. But yes, it is very good. And if we like it that much, we may even bring it to everybody. I don't know. We'll see.
And then you said the Printing United is
going to be October 18th through the 20th. And that's at the Georgia World Congress Center in Atlanta, Georgia. I will make sure right after we're done with the live, because these lives live on, right? Afterwards. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So right after the live, I will make sure to post all of the details in the description below, or I mean in the comments below, so that you guys have that, as well as I'll make sure I post it in the group too, so that you guys have all that information, because we would love for you to come by. We'd love for you to take some pictures. I love when people come by the booth and take pictures with me and have fun. We'll have a DTV station set up so we can show you how to do DTV. We have all of our new products. We have products that haven't been released yet. We have games going on. We have a ton of stuff that happens at Printing United. So it's our biggest show of the year, and we have the most fun as a team at Printing United. So usually for shows, which Delonda's been to a couple of events that I've been at, which is Wallapalooza, we usually bring like 1, 2, maybe 2 people. Printing United, you get 20 of us in the booth typically. So you get all of the big heads at Siser.
The loves personalization. She says I think this is a guy, I don't know, right here. She says she really does want to come. Well, she needs tickets.
Okay. So we have, actually, you know what I'm going to do right now? Let me just quickly.
Are there going to be any bundles on a Juliet?
There will be, yes. They will have a Juliet. So here's kind of how HSN works, just a little inside baseball for you, or back behind the scenes stuff. So when we go on, we basically get a time frame for each of our things. So last time we favored the Juliet, which I think it was like, we did like 23 minutes on the Juliet and like 2 or 3 minutes on the Romeo bundle. This time we're basically just flip-flopping. So the majority of it will be on the Romeo bundle, and then we'll have a small segment on the Juliet. So it usually, the way that they do it, if you have more than one product, they give you a certain amount of time with one and a certain amount of time with the other. But this time we get to do Romeo, which I'm really excited for because I use Romeo, I mean, multiple times a day, but I use Romeo every single day. This is the one that sits out in the main area here in my studio, or in the downstairs studio. And this is the one that my whole team uses. So anytime you see video or whatever, this is the one we beat the heck out of typically.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then also for the tickets, for anybody that wants a free expo pass to go as an attendee, make sure that you follow along. You can follow in 2 places, Siser North America on all social platforms. Or if you would like, and if somebody could drop this down for me too, you can follow me on Instagram as well at Patrick_Ali_official. I usually post out as well. So it's either myself and Siser, we're always posting about it. But most importantly, make sure you follow us at Siser North America on Instagram. That's where we'll have it. But we will have free registration, attendee registration codes, so you guys can get into the event for free. But obviously, it doesn't cover travel or expenses or anything like that.
So you say it's at Patrick_unofficial, at Patrick_official?
Patrick_Ali_official. So basically, Patrick Ali official. It'll pop up.
All right. Like that. I hope I did it right.
Let's see. Yeah, that's perfect. That works. Yeah, that works.
So follow Patrick there so you can get more information about the tickets. That's on Instagram.
Yep, that's on Instagram. Yep. And then you'll see a ton of links to, I have a link tree or bit.ly at the top that'll get you to all the Siser North America stuff, get you the YouTube channel, the Instagram, our main website. All of that information is in there too. So make sure that you explore, make sure that you have some fun, and hey, put a like on a picture or 2. Who knows? That's all we ask for.
Okay.
But yeah, cool. Alrighty, let's do really quick. Let's do another giveaway really fast. You want to? Okay, let's do that.
What's this one gonna be for?
I've been playing too much in software. All right, so we got one that is the glow. No, we didn't do the glow yet, right? Okay, so let's do the glow. We'll give you a sheet of each of the glow. So maybe that'll be the keyword you got to put in is glow.
Glow.
For that one, just make it easy. Yeah. So so we'll do a whole easy glow pack for you.
All right, let me go to present, share screen.
And then what I'm going to show you after this one, I'm just going to show the print and cut side of this project, and then I'll finish it up afterwards. Just for the timing. It's almost 8 here. My kids are going to bed at some point in time. So
yes.
I should probably go and say goodnight.
Cook dinner.
Yeah.
So we got like 17 minutes. If we can stop at 7, that'd be great.
Sweet. That works. All right. What do we got here?
We're at 98.
98.
Remember, if you've already won, you cannot win again. So if your name is selected, we'll just draw again. All right, I'm going to draw. 5, 4,
Let's see it.
3.
Should I try to say all the names fast?
Yes.
That is too much. Yeah, already it's too much for me. I'm already bowing out. Whoop. Congratulations. Love it. I love it.
That's awesome. Okay. I'm jealous.
Nice.
Educated natural.
Okay, so for the next giveaway, okay, I'll just preface it. We can do 2 small giveaways for the next one because we're at what, 3 now?
That's
we
3.
Can do 2 smaller giveaways, or I can do 1 big giveaway. What do you want to do?
What do y'all want? Small or big? 2 small or 1 big? We'll let them vote.
And I won't say that one of them may have to do with something that we're using today in the live. So I already told you it's not a gutter.
Okay.
Okay, big. We got 1 for big. 2 small. Okay. See, Monica's playing it the right way, though. She's like, I'm going to up my chances with 2, so why don't I do 2? But watch, if we did a big, she's going to end up winning that one. So it's all right. What do we got?
See a lot coming in for big. If it were me, I would say 2 small because then it gives more people a chance. But
all right, let's do 1 small, 1 big. Who cares? All right, I just wanted to get some engagement. That's all.
Okay.
All right. So we have 1 that is going to be the Easy Glow. We have 1 that is our Aurora, and then the very first one was a custom vinyl pack from you, right? Mm-hmm. So for the next one, let's do, because we just launched our new products with Avery Dennison. So we teamed up with Avery Dennison last year to bring you Starling PSV, which if you're not familiar with Starling PSV or pressure sensitive vinyl or sticker vinyl, our Starling PSV is actually dishwasher safe. It comes in more than 50 colors. All of them are matte finish, and there's also some select colors like primaries that are also in a gloss. So now you have a matte finish permanent vinyl that's dishwasher safe. And the cup that we have upstairs, the last I checked, it was up to like 80 or 85 washes with nothing peeling off of it. So it's a really, really great product. So let's do a easy PSV Starling giveaway first.
I need to go check that out.
Yeah, I'll send you a little pack of it so you can test it out.
I need to see that myself. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the we're gonna do the word is going to be Starling.
Starling, yep. STARLING, Starling. At least I think.
So y'all can see it. And go to present, share screen, share like that. Oh, I can't wait to see who wins this. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for y'all. I get so excited. Has anybody ever used that yet? Anybody ever tried it already?
Let's see it.
Patrick, it's just so much stuff. I'm gonna have to go back and watch.
That's okay.
It's like a
what I think we should do too is maybe we do these like once a month.
That would be so amazing. Like I feel pressure today because I was like, it's on Patrick. It's whatever.
And also too, I mean, for everybody, I know that for some of these lives, like, right, we go off on a tangent and then we get to the point where we're like, let's just give some stuff away. Let's have some fun. But you know, as we do more and more of these, we can hone in the project a little bit more. We can knock them out quickly and get all of that stuff done because I think that there's a lot of great information, but the problem is we're always on such a limited time frame when we're doing these. So,
okay, Ms. Stuff.
Ms. Stuff. Hey, we're giving you more stuff, and that's Starling.
Ms. Stuff. That should have been my name. Is it too late for a name change?
I know, and I feel like I don't have that much stuff behind me this time, because we're tearing down this set soon. So like, I've been cleaning everything out, or we've been cleaning everything out regularly.
Ms. And it's Ms. with a Z, honey.
I love it.
Stuff. Okay. Hilarious. I love it.
That's awesome. Okay, so really quick, I want to show you how the actual Romeo registers when it comes to print and cut designs, and then we're going to just run this cut really quick.
Okay.
And I'm actually going to redo it because it looks like I haven't ran this printer in a while, so the print quality on this one's not great. So I'll redo it at the end, but I want to show you guys the process of actually using any type of like print and cut. So I'm going to go into the actual user interface. Let me bring that into the screen for you. So I have the user interface brought up for everybody. It does have a timeout, so it will darken and then it will come back to life. One thing that I also want to kind of address too is down the road here, as I got all this little confetti now that I've just brought into my Romeo. Let's set this up for you so you can really see.
It doesn't look bad.
It's not as like clean or crisp as I would want it to be. It's a little matted out. So for me personally, I'm just going to redo it. I probably don't need to, but I'm going to purposely.
Dan leaks, you probably have to refresh because we've already finished the giveaway.
There we go. Okay. So a couple of things that we got to check first anytime that we're doing anything with print and cut, okay, or with anything really. All the Romeo and Juliets have a commercial style blade holder, okay? So they have a blade holder that looks similar to this, and I'm just checking. There is a blade in here, and that is a 60-degree blade, which is good. Inside this blade holder is your blade itself. So I'm going to try to see if you can see it kind of poking out there.
Yeah.
The idea or the objective of having your blade out enough is making sure that you advance your blade about the thickness of, I always say, a credit card or a stack of Post-it notes. Like I want to say the standard is like 8 or 10 Post-it notes, something like that. So about the thickness of a credit card, just enough. And I always say this because I feel bad when I tell people this. Don't be aggressive with this process, but you should be able to kind of run your finger over the blade holder itself without actually cutting yourself in any way, okay? So you can run your finger over. And then I'm going to put this back in. And anytime I do any project, I always test cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this image or bring this blade over using the directional arrows on my LCD screen, just in a place that I know is not going to be part of my project, right? So like for me, for example, let me just make sure this Romeo is set up. For me as an example, in between the coffee cup and the actual hand, there's just some dead space that I can use. So I'm going to actually use this as my test cut space, okay? So I go into my cut settings, and under our other tab here at Siser, we have DTV, and I'm going to do a simple test cut. So once I run that test cut on my Romeo, I'm just grabbing really quick a weeder so that I can weed out the excess and see how accurate this cut was. Now remember, I told you guys before, I like to do test cuts for this specific purpose of making sure that we're getting the appropriate cuts when we're creating things. So I'm just going to peel off one layer of that, and it looks like that came off perfectly, and then peel off the other one. So I have a good test cut. It's in the shape of like a little t-shirt, so that's how you know it's a Siser test cut, I guess. Use my directional arrows now that I know that I got a proper cut, and my goal here, and just so you guys can see it, my goal is to line my blade up, not with the caret that's on the registration mark. This is just to let you know that this is the registration mark to start with. My goal is to line my blade up just on the inside of this registration mark here. So we're just going to treat this registration mark almost like a 1x1 square. We're just going to bring our blade just inside the registration mark, okay?
I thought it had to be lined up with the caret.
Most people do, and then they're like, why is this not working? And it's because it has to be just inside that registration mark, kind of how you see it right now. So now if I touch this blade down to this registration mark, you can see that I'm like inside of it, but I'm not directly on top of the caret or anything. Okay. So once we're done with that, we're going to go back in to Leonardo Design Studio. Okay, and let me just make sure that I send this over again. So that's all in place. So now we're going to hop into Leonardo Design Studio. We've sent everything to the printer. So now we're going to go to our cut contours. And remember, with Easy Color DTV, because you're printing on the material side itself, you don't have to mirror this material. Okay, so you don't have to mirror it because we are printing on we're printing away from the adhesive or on the opposite side of the adhesive. Okay. So then once I hit send to cutter, here's kind of what you're going to see, which I always love this process. You're going to actually see the Romeo register. Oops, I should probably make sure everything's turned on and connected. Wi-Fi, hold on one second here. So I know this is connected to Wi-Fi. 200 is the connection. Okay.
What's your force and speed?
On this one right here, I keep the default on for the speed, which is at like 10 or 11. Okay. It can go up to 13, but just so you don't have early motor wear of your cutter, usually 10 is fine enough or is good enough for this. It cuts just fast enough. And then the force is 8 for easy color DTV. Okay. So with that said, I want to show you something really cool. So now that I've got a positive connection, okay, within software. So what I basically did to connect to Wi-Fi is I select my little gears here, and I have 2 options. I can go to USB. If I click USB, you'll see because I'm not hooked up to a USB, it'll give me an error. Then I go to Wi-Fi, and this actually walks you directly through the couple simple steps to get your Wi-Fi, and then you'll actually input your IP address to your cutter's Wi-Fi. So for this one in particular, I'll just do it kind of in front of you, 10.149.119. Okay, so we have 10. And that was 200, I believe. Okay, so now if I hit the arrow and it goes away completely, that means that I've gotten a positive connection. Now there's one more way to verify this. There's an area test button within Leonardo Design Studio, okay? When I select this area test, what this should do is it should perform an area test to run the outside parameter of my Easy Color DTV. And the only reason that it's running it at this speed is it wants to ensure that it's running on just the outside boundary of our print and cut job so that you know and that you can ensure that you're not going to have any issues when you get to the actual registration and cutting portion. Okay, so now what I can do, let me just make sure. Okay, yeah, I'm at 10. I just want to make sure I was at 10 on my my cut setting because I am. So then what I'm going to do is hit send to cutter, and the cool part about it is I kind of sit back and I can watch the magic happen. So I have the first piece will register, and if in the event that it fails, which is what it's doing right now, it's a really, really simple fix for this process. So I'm going to let it fail completely. We'll get the beats. Here's how we kind of fix this issue itself, okay? I can move the actual head of the machine around, and now what I'm getting right now is a complete failure because it missed that registration mark, okay? So here's how I'm going to fix it. I'm going to let it beep. That's letting me know that the cut stopped because that it failed for whatever reason. I'm going to hit the home button and select X on my LCD screen. This is all stuff that you'll see if this happens. All I'm doing is navigating that blade back because all that meant is that my blade probably wasn't in the right location. And I'm looking obviously across the Romeo when I'm doing this, so I very well could have put it. Okay, cool. I could have put it in the wrong place. So now that I have my blade back to where I feel like it should be, okay, as I can go back into Leonardo Design Studio and I can hit send cut again, let it send it to the first registration marks. Once we get a positive registration mark, it'll go on to the rest of the process. And like you guys see in real time right now, this is not on a mat. Currently, my my Romeo is not set up on a mat. It's cutting everything matless. And the best part is that we can have a conversation while the cutter is actually like moving in real time. So I always like to purposely just kind of monitor when I'm doing print and cuts because you never know when the print and cut falls off, or maybe it bunches up the sheet, or maybe when you actually did your original test cut that it was too deep or it was too shallow. So these are great places to kind of look and just ensure that none of the little bits and pieces are falling off or any of that kind of stuff throughout the process. So print cut has been one of the best things that I think we've had on the actual Romeo for us here. It's just because it's made the process a lot more simplistic, you know, to actually be able to process a full print cut design for sure. All right, to open, let's see. This is me excited or terrified to open at marketing with Marilyn. Yeah, I'm going to be quiet for a second here. I even put the mic up. Can you hear this right now?
I hear it fine. I'm trying to crunch quietly.
It's a quiet machine. For sure. Okay. So with that, while that's going through, what do we have any other questions, or do we want to go to the last giveaway? See, that's the last one. That means, hey, Patrick, you gotta, you're talking too much even for the cutters to be running. All right, can you use any materials for cutting matless? Here's the only parameters where you can't. Anything that you're going to have to cut through the material should not be matless. And I know that sounds obvious, and you're probably saying, hey, Patrick, I know that already. But just any materials that you're going to cut through, fabrics, foam, like, craft foam, foam core, stuff like that. Make sure that you keep it on a mat or on something. Leatherette's the same way. If it's a material that has a carrier and you're just cutting the skin of that material, then that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine to cut matless. Or like in this case, we have the Easy Color DTV. That's all matless as well. Mm-hmm. So just all depends. Oops, I cut out one of my holes here. One of the holes.
You did, Mary. You heard Milo a while ago. He was down there doing the most. Yeah, make it what Marilyn has a Romeo that she has not opened, Patrick.
Open the box. This is all I'm going to tell you. Open the box. Play with it. You're not going to break anything. You're not going to ruin anything. Play around with it. That's the first place to start. Just play with the cutter. Get familiar with using it without actually sending any cuts to it or anything. Get used to navigating it, and then you move on to software. And from there, you can learn, the software. Which I will tell you guys, our software is really, really simplistic in the layout. It only takes a couple of short times of actually being able to, learn how to navigate the software. A lot of what this is really, though, is it's learning the terminology from one person, from one software to the next. That's the biggest thing, is just learning the terminology. Once you get it, the rest is what you're used to designing already. All right, we got Jen S that said, what do you do when the test cut works great, but the material doesn't cut? I had this with our Siser HTV Eco Stretch. Jen, I'm not going to say or not say that you just said what new material we're coming out with, and I'm happy that you found it because it is out there somewhere. I just haven't said it. With that said, if you're getting a positive test cut, just because we get solid test cuts doesn't mean that it translates to a full cut, okay, all the time. When you have any of those issues, the first thing to assess is the material itself. Double check on any of the parts that didn't cut through. Is it the material didn't cut? Does it look like what's called a jump cut, where you'll actually have it go and score your material, and then the blade, because sometimes with especially more elastic materials, it can bunch up and jump the blade. If it's one of those where there's a noticeable gap in between two cuts, those are called a jump cut. That's an indicator that your blade is actually advanced too far out of your blade holder. Bring it in a little bit. And here's what I say with a blade and a blade holder. When you cut a steak, or you cut chicken, or you cut fish, whatever it is that you're cutting, when we put a fork in, what do? You put the fork down and you use the knife to cut. The blade essentially works, and the blade housing works the same way. You have your blade that will advance through the material, but then you actually have the blade holder, which kind of acts as that fork to hold down your material as your blade cuts. So if you are getting any heavy jump cuts in there where there's multiple spots where there's a big gap in between two good cuts, that's typically an indicator that your blade is out a little too far. Maybe bring it in just a little bit and do some testing just on a scrap piece of material. And I always say the best test to do, if you guys have them at home, when we do the test cut option and we've selected the t-shirt, the reason we did is because it has 90-degree angles, so we can check and make sure that the offset of your blade is accurate. It has a t-shirt that has some rounded edges and sharp edges to ensure that your blade is traveling properly around. And then it has a circle in the center, which is typically your deep cut portion. I tell people, create a file that has a heart, a circle, and a star. Those give you all of the same attributes, but you can make those a little bit larger for material. So our test cut's like, I don't know, it's a ½ inch or something like that. You can make those stars like 2 inches, cut them in that material, and see if that stops or prevents any of those types of things from happening. Let's see.
Maya's mom said she needs your speed dial, Patrick.
Okay, hey, listen, I'm telling you right now, come to Printing United. You can ask away. I'm there for 3 days. You got me. Does the Romeo work with a CB09 style blade? So we have the commercial blade, but it doesn't work with like the graph tech style blade, if that's what you're asking. It's more conducive to like the Roland style blades. If you're asking about the actual blade itself, the physical like carbon blade, you can use like a CB09 style. I use, here, if I ever have like scrap blades outside of ours, if I need to just throw one in really quick and I can't find one in a panic, I run upstairs, I grab the Roland blades. or clean cut blades, and I just use those. Check though, this is one thing to make sure. If you're using a third-party blade, and I'm going to go into software really quick just to show you this, okay? If you're using any type of third-party blades, it is really important, and let me just bring up a file that I can send to design. Here we go. Okay, so if we're using a third-party blade that has a different offset than a Romeo, or like the Romeo and Juliet standard blades, the 45 and 60 degree blade, what we need to do is in the cutting presets, go to blade tools, custom blade settings, and then we can put in a custom calibration for that blade. So to explain a little bit of that process.
Where was that? What?
Oh,
what?
So I'm going to explain that. I'm going to explain that really quick, then we can do the last giveaway. And then, yeah. So with that, when we're talking about offset of a blade, okay, this is a very, very elementary version of this. If you ever find me in person, ask me about it, I'll give you more of a deep dive into explanation. So you have a blade. We'll pretend that this weeder is my blade, okay? Yeah. Every blade has a point to it, okay? Yeah. And that point has a specific offset. So we'll pretend that there's an imaginary bar, thin bar that runs through this weeder, right? Or our blade shaft. Your blade will actually come on a angle, and the offset is actually the distance from the center of the actual blade like shaft, the distance from the blade shaft of the center of the blade to the tip of the blade. So if you have like a 0.03 offset, that means that you have 0.03 millimeters from the center of your blade to the blade tip. That offset is what ensures that those 90-degree angles are perfect. Because if the blade offset is, say, you have it off slightly, if it's too high of an offset, that's when you'll get really rounded corners, like they're really sharp, pointy corners in your like 90-degree angles. And if it's too low, that's when you get really rounded edges to things. So to make sure that those are pinpoint perfect, if you're using a third-party blade, make sure that you know the offset of that blade and use that custom blade. Use that custom blade setting for that. Okay. I'm actually going to do a video.
What's your YouTube channel? What? Because they
Siser North America. I don't do anything personally on YouTube. My stuff is all through education through the company. So the only thing that I have personally right now is my Instagram, which that's all I plan to use. I use Instagram more as a source of information for me, and also source of information for people that maybe want to follow me specifically. Mm-hmm. But other than that, Siser North America on every other platform is where we do all of our education stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I thought about doing that in the past, but I honestly, our platform is great, and I love working from our platform. So, as long as Siser will have me, I'm on the Siser platform. Okay. And I'm doing my thing.
I have 2 questions and that's it, I promise.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Is Siser coming out with a bigger mat than this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we're working on it right now. We don't know what size, because there's multiple sizes we can choose. I think out there, most people see the 12 by 12 and the 12 by 24 and then the 24 by 24. But there's also 16 by 20 mats. There's, 4 by 6 Cricut Joy mats. There's now the Cricut Joy Extra. There's a lot of mats that you have options to. So we're just trying to figure out what the best one is. But I think 24 by 24 is probably next.
24 by 28.
24 by 28? Okay.
Yeah,
I actually put that note in just because. Yeah.
Right, with the other, you'll be with the other
people. Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Starts with a C, ends with Ricky. And so I promise this is the last question. So that, how you type rockets, is there a way to make that look 3D?
Oh, so a way to make it look 3D. Yes, of course. All right, let's check this out. We have a ton in Leonardo Design Studio Pro, a ton of work tools. Okay. Yeah. So are you looking at making this look like it's basically like popping out of the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So down here in the work tools, there's a really, really cool one. Boop, 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 right there, 3D warp. I can select that.
Yeah.
And then all I have to do is take the 2 corners and drag them up. And then just like that, I now have 3D. And I'm going to judge by your silence that if I go back to the video that you're either sitting down or you've run away. But there's a lot of, those are really, really easy, quick options in software to make things happen really quickly. Yeah.
I
Yeah. So here's what I think we do. I think we give away the big giveaway. Is that cool?
Let's do it.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. Because we're on this live, you might as well sit down now, honestly. I'm just going to, you might as well sit because you're going to. On this live, because we're doing this, because you brought me on, and I appreciate you so much for allowing us on the platform and allowing us to talk. Make sure that you guys, before we close this out, we get into this live, make sure that you go follow us at Siser North America on all platforms, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, all over the place. But for this last giveaway, let's do for one lucky winner, because I want you guys to play with Pro. We're going to do 30 days free of Leonardo Design Studio Pro. Actually, we're going to do 60 days free. We'll give you 2 months for free of Leonardo Design Studio Pro. That'll be something, a gift from me to you. It's a way that we can get you into software and get you talking about Leonardo Design Studio, because I want you guys to see what we've created. This is honestly a very, very special piece of equipment to me personally, and to our team here at Siser, to the development team, to Dave, Keith, Maya, Johan, Anna, everyone that was involved with the process, our graphic designers, to our advertising distribution, to you guys out there. The least that I could do on this live is do a bigger giveaway and get you guys Leonardo Design Studio Pro, and we'll give you 2 months free, 60 days free with it. And we'll use keyword Leo. How about that? Keyword Leo.
Okay.
Leo. Yeah. Keyword Leo.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
And just so you guys know too, for anybody that does want to try Leonardo Design Studio, the basic edition, I'll really quickly show you where you can find it while we're getting all of our results in and responses. On the Siser North America website, you can go to Cutters, Leonardo Design Studio. About halfway down the page, you can actually sign up for an account right here, and you can start playing with Leonardo Design Studio Basic for free. And that's for free for anybody indefinitely. So you don't have to have an account. You don't have to have a cutter to play with it. The only thing that you do need to be able to use Leonardo Design Studio Basic and send to a cutter is you have to have a cutting machine. But at least you can get in and play with the software, bring in some of those files from whether it's Silhouette Store, it's ones you've created in AI or Corel, ones you've gotten from Creative Fabrica or any of these other websites and design places that we find. Throw in those designs, make sure they work for you. And if you don't like them or you don't like something about it, I want to know about it. So reach out to us at Siser. Let us know if there's anything we can do, if there's anything we can fix, if there's anything we can improve, change, enhance, whatever, because we want to know all of that information. So this is my pact with you guys, is that there's a way to find Leonardo Design Studio Basic for free so you can play with it, but I want in exchange for that your feedback, because it's important to us that we're building this for the community, that we're building an ecosystem that is going to live on for a really long time, and it's all built by you guys. That's how we started this. That's how we're gonna go out with it, and that's what I'm going to in my entire career work on, is making sure that this product is great for you. So the winner, 60 days free is
Daviana, yeah.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Daviana. I hope I said your name right. Daviana.
Daviana. Yeah. I believe so.
Look at that little Bitmoji with the heart. That's so fancy.
That's cute. I like that. I like that a lot. So we've given the farm away. We've given Aurora away. We've done a Glow giveaway. We've done Starling. We did a custom pack from you, and we did Leonardo Design Studio. Off the top of my head, that's like a $6 million value you guys just got. So that's awesome.
Do you understand me? Oh my, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So. This has been so informative. So I don't even think I can thank you. I cannot thank you.
That's all right. Hey, this is why we do. This is why we do what we do. And much like what you do every single day when you're teaching and you're allowing your audience to learn from your mistakes and then make mistakes on their own and learn from those and be a source of information and a beacon of information. That's what the most important for you, for any of the other, we can call them whatever we want. Content creators, influencers. I say creators. I say makers. For you and anybody else that has a page out here that's teaching everybody how to do these things, that's what's most important. So the least that I could do is give you some material. and give you some software.
I feel like I've been hurting the people.
No,
your information sucks.
No. It's all good information. It's all great information. Listen, there's a reason, I say this, and I don't say this very lightly. And I know that especially for something like YouTube was a really, I don't want to say it was a simple platform back in the day to be able to grow, but YouTube, as we all know, has gone through algorithm change after algorithm change after algorithm change. So the fact that you have that play button sitting on that wall is a testament to your hard work. So never forget that.
Don't make me cry, Patrick. I cry easily.
Listen, that's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to do. Just kidding. No, but that's a testament to what you do for everybody that's in this live right now and that follows you. So it's an important thing. And you don't seem, you seem very humble about that. You don't seem like that is something that defines you, but it's very much a part of you. And that's a really, really cool thing to have. So least I could do is do a couple giveaways while we teach the people some things and have fun.
It's been amazing. And I'm grateful.
Yeah.
And that, I don't even know. That made me cry. Everything makes me cry. But
listen, I already said when we get ours, the day we get ours, I'll probably be an emotional wreck because it's been a long time coming. So we're excited for it.
I just want to say thank you, and I'm happy for all of the winners. But really, you guys, I am more happy about the knowledge that y'all received. For me, it's worth more than anything he could give away, because once you have that knowledge, it's yours forever, right?
Yeah.
You're going to use that vinyl love. You're going to use up your 60-day trial, but you will still have this knowledge. And you can come back and you can watch the video over and over again, because guess what I'll be doing? Making a rocket shirt. Okay.
I like a 3D rocket shirt nonetheless.
Do you understand? Do you understand how many rocket shirts are going to be?
Make sure too that you guys, anything that you're posting, any of these projects that you're showing out on social media, that you're sharing, the only way that these channels grow and they get bigger and bigger is when you're talking about them. So tag everybody. Make sure that you're tagging friends. Make sure your craft groups at home, that you're tagging all your friends in those. Make sure that your projects can be seen, because when you learn information, the only way to benefit the world is by being able to pass that information along and teaching the next person. So we're making you a pro so that you can then make somebody else a pro. And that's the big goal, I think, for anybody that creates content, whether it's on YouTube or any other social platforms. Our big mission is to make sure that you get to see the struggles that we had early on and understand that there's fixes for those, understand that there's a lot of headache that comes with them, but now you have a source of information and make that a simple process. And I think that's the most important. So thank you so much for having us on, and congratulations to all of the winners to this. This was a really, really fun one to do.
For all of you who won, so that was Diane Lochfeld, Diana Spears, Kim at The Educated Natural, Daviana, and I think that was 1, 2. That was 5, right? Was that 5?
Yeah, I think it's 5.
And Ms. Stuff.
Ms. Stuff, MS Stuff. Yes, can't forget.
My name I'm going to change my name. So it's going to be both of us. It's going to be Ms. Stuff. I'm going to have to give you my email address so you can reach out to me through there, so I can, get you in contact. So we'll know where to send your stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll put my email address here. That's just for them. Anyone else who sends me an email, you already know.
You already know.
I don't even have to finish that sentence. So I don't have to finish it. You already know. Yeah, so you can send it here. Okay. All right.
All right.
With Ms. Delonda Stuff. That's it. Thank y'all so much. Y'all can, Patrick, I gotta say what I say right quick and then we can go.
Go for it.
Y'all, road rage, you know how I feel about it. I think it's senseless. I think it's unnecessary. You don't have to be involved in it. You always just tell yourself, they have to use the bathroom, I'm in the way. That's it. You don't, even if it means you're going to be late, even if that means, you're going to miss an important event. If somebody is trying to have road rage with you, you shouldn't even know, because your eyes should be on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Your whole goal is to do what? Arrive alive. You don't have to give them a finger. You don't have to give them your thoughts and let me tell them how I feel. No, you don't have to do that. They don't need to know how you feel. No right finger fellowship, no Saturday night special, nothing. Just eyes on the road. If they want to go around, let them go around. You don't have to chase them. They don't have to chase you. There's no fighting. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you more than I ever can express. Thank you, Patrick, for being here, for sharing all your knowledge with us. And I'm going to harass Patrick, and he knows I'm not lying about it because we have to come on again in November.
Yep.
And he knows that I will harass him multiple times. He knows that.
And actually, I may be coming to you from a new set in November too. So maybe I'll try to make it a point because I have a bunch of sets in the studio space. So maybe I'll make it a point that every live we go, I'll try to go from a different set in the studio.
Yes. Okay. Thank y'all so much. It's been amazing. Only email me if you're one of those 5. Anybody else? Okay. Bye, y'all.
Bye, everybody.